Yo. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Happy Father's Day. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the shout outs on Father's Day. I appreciate y'all. Feel like I need to move this mug closer to your boy. There we go. They be playing with me, man. They be playing with me. They don't be liking to have me in the. They black me out every time. Maybe it's because the background. You know what? I'm gonna do something real quick. Let me see what's going on with this background real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties. Y'all see how they black me out all the time. I'm wondering if it's me or if it's them. That's what we gonna figure out real quick. Let me see if it's me or if it's them. What is it? The braids? You know. Okay. They don't want to work with your boy, man. They playing with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Let's see what they doing. Fatherless Day. Happy Fatherless Day to everybody that didn't have a daddy like me. That's why when they be trying to lie to me, I be like, how y'all gonna tell me? How y'all gonna tell me? I seen it firsthand. Y'all can't tell me nothing. All right, let's see if this is better. All right, is it better if I'm in white? Nope, doesn't matter if I'm in black or if I'm in white. It's like Michael Jackson said, it don't matter. It's black, it's white. Don't matter if it's close or far. Don't matter if it's close or far. They gonna hate. I'm just trying to figure out where the hate, where's the hate coming from? Why they don't want to keep me in this screen, man? Anyways, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it is, man. It's gonna be what it is. Hey, but we got a good one. We got a good one today. Cause check this out. I'm on YouTube's. I'm only on the YouTube's today. I'm not on TikTok, so I can pay attention to all the comments. I could really lock in and focus. On the comments on the YouTubes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see if we do it this way. Is it better? I got new shoes on the ride, rolling down 95. Hey, yes, sir. Hey, that shit used to slap a little bit. I ain't gonna even hold you. I know y'all was in the deep south slapping that shit, but it touched all the way down in LA where I was in the city. You know what I'm saying? When that shit used to come on in the club, niggas used to damn it. Damn. Gotta watch my language, man. We'll see. We will see. Sorry, YouTube for using the N-word. YouTube hate the N-word, but they be letting racist white T people say all types of stuff. It's crazy. Anyways, yeah. Yes. Can't wait to talk about this. So I got a few videos for y'all. I'm gonna start with this one. We're gonna start with this one. We're gonna start with this one, right? And y'all gonna see why when we get to it. Y'all gonna see why. Cause this don't make no damn sense. This for Father's Day.
Moms at TikTok, I need your help. So is it my job as the dad of my children to make sure that it is food in their mother's refrigerator? Is that my obligation? We are not together. We co-parent. She works, I work, we both have households. Is it my job as the child's father to fill her fridge up? And then if I do not fill her fridge up, am I a piece of shit? Please, I need y'all to answer this.
Let's spin the block on it.
All right, moms at TikTok, I need your help. So is it my job as the dad of my children to make sure that it is food in their mother's refrigerator? Is that my obligation? We are not together. We co-parent. She works, I work, we both have households. Is it my job as the child's father to fill her fridge up? And then if I do not fill her fridge up, am I a piece of shit? Please, I need y'all to answer.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's let's talk about that real quick before I get into the topic, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, since I saw it today. Okay. And here's what I was saying here, and here's what I say about fathers, right? So I appreciate y'all. So here's the thing. Obviously, yes, that's problematic. If the mother of your children is having a hard time keeping food in the refrigerator, then it would seem like the logical thing to do would be to buy food and make sure that she has food in her refrigerator, right? Also, like, a part of me thinks that if if this wasn't the mother of his child and he was talking, like, a part of me thinks that, like, if we ask this question about, let's say, like, our neighbor, right? If it was like, hey man, or a friend or something like that, not a woman, right? A man, whatever, like, hey man, I got a neighbor, and am I POS if I don't, if he's having trouble and having food insecurity, am I POS for not helping my neighbor? I think that he wouldn't even ask that question. I think he would be like, yeah, I should help my neighbor, right? You see what I'm saying? But it's so crazy how when it's the mother of your child, all of a sudden that same generosity has to be questioned. Now it's, should I be helping the mother of my child? Yeah, because shouldn't you be helping anybody you can help in that instance? What you know what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't you? Doesn't that make sense? Like, I don't. Maybe I'm tripping, but that doesn't make sense. Like, you shouldn't be helping, like, your neighbor. You shouldn't be helping whoever you can help in that case. Like, if somebody is living next door to me, or if somebody I'm in close proximity to is having food insecurity problems, I'm going to help them. Let alone the mother of my children, right? See, Celestial says this man will not help his neighbor. He's questioning making sure his kids are good. I don't think I'm telling you that what I'm getting at is that a lot of these men want to punish the women. So I think he would be able to find the humanity in helping his neighbor, but he can't seem to find it when it comes to helping the mother of his child, because he's still bitter that she don't want to be with him. He on some like, see, that's why you hungry now. Why not just stay with me? That's what you get. You should have just, you know what I'm saying? I don't cheat, I don't beat, and I got a job. I don't know why you just didn't stay with me. Right? That's what I get. That's what I be getting from the, like, that's the vibe I'm getting from this. Is there's no way you're gonna tell me that you wouldn't be able to find the humanity in helping your neighbor, but you can't find it for helping your baby mother. Right? That's all I'm saying. Like, I think a part of me is thinking this is some type of punishment for her. Right? And he's trying to find like-minded people to console and to coddle him and to reassure him that he's not the drama, but he knows he's the drama. Like, I don't look, man, if you're if the mother of your child is having food insecurity and it ain't because, you know, and it's like she's a normal person, she's not addicted to nothing, she don't got a gambling problem, you know what I'm saying? She's not addicted to spending or anything like that. It's really just, it's just hard for her to make ends meet. Two things: A, you should probably be paying more in child support, first and foremost, right off the rip. And B, why why wouldn't your natural inclination be to help her out? Like I would get it if it was like I said, and I'm not saying like if she had a drug addiction, you wouldn't help her out, but I'm saying I would be like, if it was like a drug addiction or anything like that, I'm getting my kids. You see what I'm saying? So a part of me thinks it's not that, it's not anything like that. It's just times are hard. Inflation is kicking everybody in the ass. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not understanding that. Inflation is kicking everybody in the ass, including the mother of your child. Why you don't understand that? So yeah, I'm just, from my perspective, to me it seems abundantly clear that it's about some form of punishment for that woman. That's what I'm getting from this. Maybe I'm wrong. He's not here to defend himself. Maybe he can elaborate and expound on the story, but as of now, for me, it just seems like he wanted to punish that woman. That's my take. What do you guys think about that? Very curious. Yeah, exactly. My first thought would be to go get my baby. If she can't keep food in her refrigerator, and it's like I said, it's like, because I mean, it's like if she's just struggling financially, I'm probably not going to get my kids, right? Because there's a reason why they're there to begin with. So more than likely, what I would do is I would just supplement her income and give her more money. That's me, right? People say child support is for the child, but the thing about it is child support. The thing about it is that the outcome, child outcomes are directly correlated with the emotional stability of a mother, right? So if the mom is healthy, then that greatly increases the chances of the child growing up to be happy and healthy. If the child is with the mom, I think a part of child support should be you helping the mom out, right? Or am I tripping? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like, yeah, just like, what's going on? It just seems like you helping the mother out and you making sure the mom is happy should also be included in the child support. And I don't mean that from the government's sake. I'm just saying, like, in my mind, child support is a holistic thing. It's not just financial, it's emotional, right? It's all of these things. So I'm not understanding how you can separate the two, how you can separate, like, oh, well, I get my money and that's it and whatever. I mean, she's struggling. Like, no, that's the mother of your child. That you have to support her too, because that supports your child. Supporting the mother is a part of supporting the child. Last time I checked. Right? So if you're not willing to support the mother, then go get the baby. I mean, if you're not willing to support the mom, then go get the baby. That's all I'm saying. There's no need in getting on the internet and asking, are you the a-hole? Yes, sir, you are the a-hole. Let me answer your question bluntly and directly. Yes, you are the a-hole. It's you. You the one. And it's videos like that, and it's circumstances like, not just videos, it's circumstances like that women see that is directly correlated and connected to terminated pregnancies. Rampant fatherlessness is the number one cause of terminated pregnancies. Y'all could try to convince me otherwise, but I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that it's not like that's not the number one reason. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take that. But I think that's the number one reason. I think that it's women comparing notes. I think it's women seeing how men who have children treat the mothers of the children and how they treat the children. And I think that they decide, for the most part and correctly, the vast majority of the time, to not have a child. So for the fellas who act like they care about terminated pregnancies, you guys should definitely care about fatherlessness and child abandonment and neglect and things of that nature. I'm trying to tell you that there is no way for us to distance ourselves from any of these issues as men. There's no way for us to do it. We can't. None of these things are devoid of, like, all of these things are cause and effect, beyond medical. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the medical reasons. I'm talking about the social reasons as to why women terminate pregnancies early, right? It is directly related to how men treat their children. It's directly related to how men treat their children. And I don't know, and so I just get tired of hearing so many men act like they care, and they only bring up terminated pregnancies as a way to vilify or demonize women when it's convenient. But I'm here to tell you that even when you do that, if you want to play that game, let's play that game. Okay? I'm your Huckleberry. You want to play that game? Cool. So you care about terminated pregnancies. Okay. Then why don't y'all huddle up and start talking to these men and say, hey man, be better fathers. Hey man, stop manipulating and gaslighting these women. Stop telling women to vet better. Tell the men to be better. Maybe I'm wrong though. And y'all let me know. Maybe I'm tripping. But I feel like if men were better suited and men actually were better fathers, then early terminations of pregnancies would go down tremendously overnight. Because if you feel like you have the support of the person, who is responsible for impregnating you, if you feel like you have the support of that person, I don't know that many people that would be like, I want to, and I won't say that many, but I just think that it's way less likely that those people are going to be like, yep, let me terminate this. I don't feel like that. And mind you, I'm not against, I'm all for terminations and and all of that stuff. Like, this is not me advocating to like combat that at all. I'm coming at it from a different angle though. I just, like I normally do. I'm tired of y'all acting like y'all care about it, man, when you clearly don't, because you never actually talk about the conditions that foster the situations where women feel compelled to do it. You just talk about the women doing it. That's it. You only talk about the women doing it, which tells me everything that I need to know about you. You don't actually care about the problem in it of itself. You don't care about the problem. Exactly, T. Williams. If he doesn't care if his child eats, are you sure you would want the child in his custody? These dudes cannot raise children. Exactly. A lot of men are ill-equipped to raise children. A lot of us are. Not without support. And guess what? That's why a lot of men get a ton of support from our mothers, from the women in our lives, from our aunties, from our new wives when we remarry, from our girlfriends. Because women know. Women know. It's gonna be tough for them. And that's why when men do stuff like when I go outside with my sons and I'm just like out with my sons out and about, I get, oh, super dad. Because even just doing the simplest things with your sons is looked at like, well, you don't see that every day. How can I be called super dad? Look, how can it be that men are so involved? How can it be that men are such great fathers? How can it be that mothers are such failures and all of these things when simply seeing a man existing with his children in public will stop traffic at this point? Seeing a man just being in close proximity to his children in public will all but stop traffic. It's I mean, when I'm out in public with my sons, I feel very similarly to what I would think it feels like to be a beautiful woman. It's like that. Like I'm getting that type of attention just from being out in the world with my sons. Just from walking around with them, going to the park with them, going to the store, whatever, picking up food. That could have been the only time I was with my son all week. They don't know. But they see me, oh man, you got your kids with you today, I see. How many times I want to ask my mom, ask my wife, or my mom, I can ask her too. How many times did they get super mom just for existing out in public? Meanwhile, my wife be getting judged in public. When the kids, when my son be acting up, the people be staring, people be glaring. She always telling me, oh, I did. She told me stories about women walking up to her and saying stuff when my oldest son would be having an episode, out in public, and they would, try to come over there and be like, oh, he's loud today, or just like make little dumbass comments and stuff like that. I've seen people say stuff. She said that people would be like, do you need help? But like condescendingly, like, you need some help with him, like, stuff like that. I've seen it before. I've heard it. So yeah, you ain't. I know this to be true. I know this is the case. Rampant fatherlessness is the number one cause of terminated pregnancies. I promise y'all, the bar is in Hades and below. Fathers get away. We get away with. I mean, y'all can't like. I don't know how to tell y'all this, gentlemen. I'm telling you, without a doubt, that I've experienced this in my life. So you can't tell me anything. You can't lie to me. You can't gaslight me. I just saw another video talking about or I just saw a live and the person was asking, do fathers get enough credit? And I was like, fathers get too much credit. If you ask me, fathers get too much credit. And I'm just talking about fathers in general. I'm not saying every father, but I'm saying fathers get too much credit though. What can fathers take credit for as a group? I'll wait. No answers? Anything? Mm, I don't know about that one, Capricorn Queen. That's a bit of a it's a bit of an anti-black statement if you ask me, but I don't know. Single mother homes doesn't mean that there's no father present. Fathers be present, men be present. There's not a fathers. There is a but there's a ton of fatherlessness, right? Because there shouldn't be any technical. I mean, outside of like natural causes type stuff. But speaking on the fatherlessness by choice, it's rampant for sure. But it's not most. It's not half. Like, come on, most people have their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Most fathers are in their kids' lives to some extent. I'm not. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's nuance there. What does single mother mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, I know what single mother means. It doesn't mean that there's no father in the home. It doesn't mean that there's no father present. It just means that they're not married or whatever the case may be. They're not a single mother. Like, yeah, exactly. They be there. They just don't be doing. They don't be doing ish. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not denying that at all. I'm just saying, like, let's not sit here and be like, there's no dads there. Like, dads be there. They just don't be doing shit. That's what I'm saying. The reason why I want to talk about it from that aspect too, there's no need in us to like lie about it or to be extreme about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like, we don't gotta start having these like anti-black talking points like, oh yeah, if the dad is most black fathers are there, they're in their kids' lives. But what does that mean? In their kids' lives, to what extent? Now let's get into it from that aspect, right? And then also, if you want to talk about fatherlessness, yes, black fathers are also more likely to abandon their kids than any other demographic of men in America. No doubt about it. Those two things are true. Well, wouldn't not pushing back on that at all. I'm just saying that it doesn't. I don't feel like it's necessary to act like fathers aren't present at all. You know what I mean? Most black men are just abandoning their children. They're not. They're there. They're just, most of them are crappy. But most men in general also crappy. Most fathers are crappy. Most fathers are crappy. YT, whatever. Why do black fathers abandon their kids? It's not one reason. So I think the abuse that black people have suffered and endured in this country is the number one reason why black fathers abandon their kids. Economics is a part of that abuse. Lack of education is a part of that abuse. Lack of opportunity, so on and so forth. I think these are the biggest contributing factors to why black fathers specifically abandon their kids at a higher rate than everybody else. Couple that with misogyny, with the desire to punish a woman, and not seeing children as human beings. All of that stuff. I think once you put that into a ball, I think that those are pretty much the main reasons. But I just don't. But it's not. It's the same thing. It's like, why are almost anything as it pertains to black people, we're gonna have to trace it back to our socioeconomic conditions and things of that nature. Like, there's nothing you can never separate that from what's going on, right? We have to know that that's what it is, but a lot of it is cultural. But the culture that we got, the culture that we perpetuate, it's in us from past trauma. You know what I'm saying? Our culture is built on a lot of our trauma. You know what I'm saying? So we got to also acknowledge that if we want to cure it, as opposed to just pointing the finger and just being like, because what is the reason? What is the reason if it's not that? Right? If it's not that we've been the most abused. We've been the most abused. I'm talking about black people. We've been the most abused group of people on this planet over the last 600 years, right? If it's not that, then what is it? Are black men just innately terrible, and we just don't like our kids, and everybody else is just better at it than us? You know what I mean? Like that's why I think that's like not looking at it from a political standpoint, you know what I mean, in a historical standpoint, it does a disservice, you know. Yeah, a lack of empathy, all of that stuff. But why do we lack empathy? I agree, we lack empathy, but why do we lack empathy? Why do we have less empathy for this situation, for the mothers of our children, than every other group of people? Why do we abuse more than any other? Why do we like why? Let's get to the why. Like, I know what's going on. I'm not denying what's going on. I'm just saying why. Why? Yeah, black women did go through the same. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's where the intersectionality comes into play, right? Because, like I said, poor white men also abandon their kids at very high clips. If you go look up the numbers, who out of in the white community, what group of men is most likely to abandon their kids? Middle class white men, or wealthy white men, or poor white men? Poor white men. You see what I'm saying? And per capita, black men are poorer than white men. Black men are poorer than white men on average. Right? Like, if that's what I'm saying. It's a wild thing to have this conversation and not bring up the conditions. Not like ignore it, like trying to act like it's and that's why people don't understand. Because I saw a comment on one of my videos. Somebody was like, made some like snide comment, like, oh, when a black man talks about the system, you know, like he's married to a white woman, or or something like that. And I was like, or I understand things better than you do, because what you guys want from me, I feel like, is for me to blame everything on us being black. And I don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel uncomfortable blaming stuff. So just blaming stuff on the fact that I'm a black person. Right? Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. But I feel uncomfortable doing that as a black man. I don't attribute anything that black people do, good or bad, to the fact that we are black. You see what I'm saying? I'm not looking at it like through I won't say nothing, but I'm saying I'm not looking at it through the lens of like if a black person can jump high, I'm not like, oh, that's because he's from Africa. That's eugenics. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's fast. Oh, see, all black people are fast. Like, it's a little weird. It's a crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's just like a weird conversation to have, to me, and to have it from that standpoint, to have it from that aspect. So I like to talk about how it is, especially when it comes to these types of issues. I think where it starts is with the cult of man. I think that's the initial. I think it starts with the cult of man, and then from there are other factors that come into play, key factors that come into play. But I think it starts with the cult of man, without a doubt. Yeah, white people got hella problems. But then we have to unpack the why. We got to unpack the why are they so quick to do X, Y, and Z. Let's get into that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have that conversation right now or ever, to be honest with you. But but not on here, at least. I'll have it with somebody offline. It's not I don't like really talking about what white people be going. That's what I'm saying. I don't like to focus on if I'm gonna talk about something, I'm definitely gonna talk about black people. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that things affect us differently than everybody else. I do. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't like to talk about, I don't really care. Not to say I don't know, this is gonna sound callous. I just be talking about the system because I know that the system is a thing that is destroying all of us and it's affecting all of us. White, black, no matter, right? Men, women, whatever. But the first system that I talk about is the patriarchal system, which black men invented, which black men started. Right? Black men started the patriarchal system. We built it first. We laid the foundation down for the patriarchal system. So that's why I don't like when black men try to act like they try to distance themselves from the patriarchy and act like like, oh no, that's a white T man thing. White T men run the patriarchy. Yeah, white T men run the patriarchy in this country. They run the patriarchy in the Western Hemisphere. You're right. But explain China. Explain Africa. Explain Japan. You see what I'm saying? Because I just did a search the other day for something else. And I was looking up African presidents and leaders right now. It's an interesting thing. I was just looking them up, and there were two things I noticed. One was expected, one wasn't. One of them was how short, like they'll be like, the president of Gambia he's the third president of Gambia. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like they recently just got a little bit of freedom, you know what I mean, if you want to call it that. Some semblance of freedom. They're in the third president in 2024, right? They haven't had an established democracy this whole time. And then the second thing I noticed, but I mean, the second thing I clocked, but I knew that this was the case, was I mean, I looked at every country, 99% of them were men, to be expected, right? So how can it be that in a place like the world where half the population is are women and half the population are men, how can I go to every single country and the leaders, I don't care what the race is, I don't care what the ethnicity is, somehow, some way though, there's a man in power. There's a man in the highest office in the land in that country. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's important for us to clock as black people. Is to understand that the patriarchy exists everywhere, even in black countries. So stop saying that it's a white T man problem. It's not. It's not. They didn't invent it. They didn't start it. They adopted it, and they built their own version of it. They built one with them at the top of it and us at the bottom. But it's always been there. The first, like I've said before, the first people that they wanted, that these men wanted to steal labor from, was women. That was the first people they said, let's steal their labor, because they're weaker than us, physically weaker than us. We can dominate them physically. What can they do about it? That was the first group of people that they said, let's steal their labor. And from that ideology, from that idea, right? From that idea, that is where racism came from. That's where all of these other systems of oppression came from. It was built on the back of the patriarchy. The patriarchy was the model. It was the first model, and black men invented it. So I don't want to hear black men talking about it's a white T man thing and, oh, we ain't got that problem. We don't benefit from it. We have historically. Because it's been around for 5 millennia. Right? It's been around since been around. Right? Let me read this super chat. Many men have a hole in his heart, the same of their father. Favorite quote. Many men have a hole in their heart the same as their father. Yeah. Where did they get that hole? Where did that hole come from? I have a daughter. I don't want them to suffer from trusting some guy Mm. Yeah. So that's my so that's why when I talk about it, I like to make sure that when we talk about the patriarchy, we're honest about it, right? If not the patriarchy, then what? A matriarchy. And before you jump to some conclusion about what the matriarchy is, don't, because you don't know what it is. I didn't. I don't know. I never heard collective healing. Sounds like something I would be into. We do need to collectively heal. So those two words in succession mean a lot to me. We do need to collectively heal, definitely, but I don't know. The father bear is a danger to the cubs. Oh man, but y'all still choosing the bear though. I know I am. I ain't a cub. The matriarchy will save us. We need the matriarchy to save us right now. Many men have a hole in his heart the same shape of their father. Oh, got you. Got you. Yeah, that's a dope quote. I like that. That father abandonment. Yeah. Yeah, so just so we know, so the matriarchy isn't necessarily like women rule the world. That's not what it is. But and I've given my thoughts on this before in other lives. Um but what I believe needs to happen in the immediate, like right now, tomorrow, right? Today, yesterday, I do think that we should give women I think as men we should give women power first and foremost. We just got to turn over we just have to turn over the power to them in the immediate, right? And then we can start to deconstruct the patriarchy. Um and then we can from that then we could create an egalitarian society, like, which that's what the matriarchy really is about a egalitarian society. It's not about women being on top and men being on the bottom, or men being subservient, or whatever the case may be. It's about egalitarianism. Isn't that funny? Like all the things that are connected, all the things that are connected to like healing and connected to um like progressiveness and the collective and all of these things are directly related to what people would call femininity, right? Feminism is about the man, the woman, the child. The matriarchy is about egalitarianism. It's about everybody getting their needs met, blah 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 blah, same thing. The patriarchy is about men assuming power and a small group of men at that assuming power and blocking everybody else out and hoarding all the resources for themselves. The world is ran by violence. Come on up, Tommy. Here, I'm not about to go back and forth with you in the comments. You can come up. Feel like we can have a conversation about it. There you go, Tommy. Hit that link, brother. Come up and join us. I know how the world is. Doesn't mean that that's what the world should be, though, right? We all know what's going on in the world. We understand what's going on in the world. But how the world should be and how the world is are two completely different things, right? I'm not really talking about how the world is right now, even though we do talk about how the world is often. I think this topic reflects how the world is. It's cause and effect. Men don't ever want to take responsibility for the way that people react to us. This is a reaction. Women getting, women terminating pregnancies is a reaction to the systems that are in place that don't protect women. So, like our economic, like a large part of the termination of pregnancies, termination of pregnancies is the economics. Women not having resources or access to resources. Who created that system? Who perpetuates that system? Who keeps that system in place? Who protects it? Who defends it? At home and abroad. Right? It's us. Okay. And then interpersonally, appreciate you. And then interpersonally, who we can fix it interpersonally if we wanted to. Appreciate y'all. We can fix it interpersonally if we wanted to as men. We could stand up and we could be better fathers and we could be better human beings and all that stuff. And that's what I talk about all the time. Do we want to though? What percentage of men actually want to be better men? And I mean better human beings, not better men, not like buffer or more wealthier or any stupid any ignorant stuff like that. What men actually want to be better men, be better human beings? What percentage? I got a better question. What percentage of men actually know what it means to be a decent human being? What'd you say, Honeyflower? That's the thing. Men are not, we are not, oh, I missed it. I didn't see it, Honeyflower. Men are not, hey, Tommy, where you at, brother? I'm still waiting for you, man. Click that link, brother. Don't be scared. Who turned off the chat? Who turned off the chat? He left the building. Oh man. Well, I'll answer his question since he's not here. Oh, okay. I didn't turn off the chat. Devontae. Hey, Dante, what's good, man? Happy Father's Day to you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate it. Happy Father's Day to y'all, man. To all the men in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Show up for them babies. But yeah, I would say, yeah, the world is ran by violence. We know that. My question is, does it have to be so? Yeah, the world is ran by violence, but does it have to be so? Can we not evolve past violence? And it's crazy because here's the thing. The people who are responsible for the most amount of violence wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it. The men who the CEO of Lockheed Martin, go look them up. The owners of Lockheed Martin, go look them up. Weenie pies, all of them. They wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight, but they're responsible for so much violence in this world. So much violence. So much violence. It's crazy. You don't gotta be violent, man. These dudes are not. They're weenies. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, they just have us fighting for them, honey. Exactly. A lot of men, Capricorn Queen, they don't even seek out control. They seek out complacency. They seek out coddling. They seek out acceptance. A lot of men just be wanting you just to let them be crappy. A lot of men ain't even tripping off of the control. They're not even tripping. They like, I ain't even wilding on. But can you just leave? Hey man, I just want to come home, play my video games, and ignore everybody in the house when I get home from work. That's all I want to do. That's it. Like, not all men are power hungry. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us been beaten down by the system. We don't even know what real power. We don't even know what power looks like. We know we're never gonna achieve it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us just be wanting like what peace. A lot of us just be wanting peace, and our peace looks like negligence to everybody else. Our version of peace looks like negligence the vast majority of the time. It's wild. Complacency all over our faces. You know what I mean? It's sad. It really is, man. It really is. Who do we address first, the men or the women that do their part to help uphold the patriarchy? I'm going to address the men personally. I'm going to address the men. You know what I mean? Like we don't got to pick, you know, I'm going to address the men first. What does it look like when the women uphold the patriarchy? What does that look like? Out of curiosity. Is it a pick me? I mean, I know that would be a version of it. Yeah. A lot of men do just want to smash, definitely. They want all of that and to smash. Coddling a man, enabling. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Favoritism for the boy. Yep. Same shit. Not not calling out abusers. A known abuser in the family, letting them still come around and stuff like that, because that's your uncle. That's your daddy. Whatever. A lot of that. Yep. Definitely. Definitely that, for an example. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Sierra. Exactly. Teaching girls to be wives. Yep. And then let me ask y'all this. How much of a change do you think, like, if every woman were to, like, not to, you know, or if most women were to, like, stop upholding the patriarchy, how long do you think it would take for men to, you know, change our behavior from that? Relly says not long at all, relatively quickly. So you guys think that women are you guys think that the women are the key in the change in when it comes to this? Interesting. Within a generation, chaos would happen. I'm more on T. Williams' side with this. I'm more with T. William. What does your ideal matriarch system look like? Looks like it looks like no leadership. It looks like everybody doing their part. Everybody is contributing. Everybody's reaping the benefits of society. There's no hierarchies. Everybody's needs are met. You know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. NTD. Yeah, that's what I'm. I don't know, but I do think it's important. I do think it's important for women to do whatever work you guys need to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm under the impression that men that before men changed that they would get violent. If I'm saying like the way I'm looking at it is like, let's say we like didn't focus on men at all and we just focused on women, and then we just really drilled into women like, hey, stop calling these men, like, what I'm saying, abstain, like 4B stuff, right? I think that is good. Like, for an example, so I think the 4B movement is good because I think that it hurts capitalism. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the main reasons why I support the 4B movement, is because of the effects it has on capitalism, right? Not creating children, not creating bodies for these capitalists to exploit is going to hurt capitalism. Not creating new consumers to consume these products, that's going to help that's going to hurt capitalism. So I can see that movement actually like crippling society, right? From that aspect. But at the same time, how long until those men get anxious and turn the world into Gilead? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't think men's I don't think men's not nature. I don't think that our reaction would be just to grow up and be better people. I think some of us would adjust, but I don't think enough of us would adjust. I really don't. So what I think is that I think that if that were the case, like if women were to do that, I think that, yeah, handmaid sale. I think that like we still need a two-prong approach. And that's why I was saying, like, I think that's great. I think that idea of like talking, like women talking to women and having that conversation with women, you know what I mean? And cooking these pick-me's the same way I'll be cooking these red pill motherfuckers, these red pill dudes. If you guys do that and I do this, then I feel like we can get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now, because now we're attacking it from both. Because you're gonna need, because basically what I'm saying is like you need a man, not a man. We need men to like keep the violent men in check. You need a man, you know what I mean? Like, so that's I think that's where like men like me, that's where I see my, like, how I see my role is like I'm here to like combat the violence in men, right? So that women can do the work that they need to do to affect change. You know what I'm saying? I think we definitely both got to do it at the same time, and we got to have like, like that's our goal. Like our goal is to do blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like in here, and let's ready break, and let's break the huddle, and let's go about and let's do that. I mean, I don't know. I think they can force us back into slavery if they. I think they can. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's open air slave markets right now in Africa. Right now, not to mention the Congo, not to mention America, the prison industrial complex, right? So I don't know. I think they could force it into slavery pretty quickly if they wanted to. I don't think we're that far away from it, to be honest with you, at this point. Yeah, inflation. We're getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, can't afford to buy a house. Got to go to work every day. You got to work 40 hours a week. Like, I don't know. Got to buy stuff to survive. They almost got us. They almost are. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that one. They almost got us. They almost got us. So, yeah. Charlotte says, feminism as a movement needs to sponsor scholarships for women to become OBGYNs and give free or low cost tubal counseling. I never heard that word, tubal. Must be a medical term. Look that up. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Indenture servitude. A little bit. It feels a lot like that. You know what I'm saying? With BlackRock buying up all the houses and you know, you can't buy a house if you're a private, you know, if you're just a person, a citizen. Damn near impossible to buy a home. They don't want you to own anything. They want you to rent everything and love it. So I don't know, man. Y'all ever seen that movie Ready Player One? I feel like that's where they're trying to have us, like, in the next 20 years. I feel maybe 50. I feel like in the next 50 years, we're gonna be on some like Ready Player One type stuff. Yeah. Project 2025. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't go like, but y'all know, I mean, anybody that knows me, if you guys don't know, as a man, I don't think it's my responsibility to go around telling women what to do. And the reason why I believe that, because you guys know that I don't really fuck with genders. You guys know that I don't really mess with genders. The reason why though I'm like that is because I don't believe that for women. I think that it's perfectly okay for women to educate men. I actually think it's important for women to educate men to a certain extent, right? Not to say it's their responsibility, but I just think that, you know, for me personally, listening to women talk about these things and listening to women's experiences is a great tool of mine that helps me understand exactly what's going on, you know. But with that being said, I don't think that it goes both ways. Because women are oppressed by men. So I think it's only right. I think it only makes sense for the oppressed group to be able to offer some form of insider information to the oppressors. But I don't think it goes the other way, right? Typically. So I just stay out of those conversations and I just listen, you know what I'm saying, as a man. So that's why, if anybody ever wonders, that's why you'll never see me in those spaces. You'll never see me like, I'll listen, I'm saying, but you'll never see me like giving advice or like, you know what I mean? Like telling, oh, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Women, like you talking about? You know what I mean? It doesn't jive with me. It doesn't make sense to me. Like communism. What's like communism? I do love communism, yes, but what's like communism? That's not communism though. I guess it's a version of it. I don't know. I guess it's a version of communism, but it's not true communism. Because true communism is governmentless, genderless, raceless, moneyless, borderless. You know, that's true communism. So that's the ultimate form of communism. That's the form I believe in. I don't believe in genders or race or money or religion or borders. I don't believe any. I think all that stuff. I know it's all made up and it's all made to divide us, and it doesn't keep us safer. It makes us. Have you guys ever seen? Have you guys ever seen those videos with those dogs? Those dogs, and or have you ever just seen a video of like dogs barking at each other? But you know, from it's a gate in between them, and they're barking there, and then the gate gets removed, and then they stop barking. That's what borders are like. That's what borders are like for me. That's how I look at borders. I'm like, yeah, imagine if you remove the borders, there would be no dogs barking at the borders. Just like everybody would be able to move around freely, you know, go as you please, go where you please, whatever. It just doesn't make any sense to me to like have borders, right? So yeah, that's how my mind functions. You know, women hold the wisdom, which is why they had to oppress the black woman. They also oppressed the black woman and every other woman, but specifically the black woman because they wanted to steal, um, y'all labor. We, I really want people to understand why the patriarchy exists. The patriarchy exists for mainly one reason, and that is to steal the labor of women. That is the number one function of the patriarchy, is to steal the labor of women. That's it. Everything else is, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it's not there, but the pie, of the patriarchy, like what is the goal of the patriarchy? The pie, it's 99. It's about this much of a sliver you could dedicate to other things, but the rest of that pie is to steal women's labor. That's what it's all about. Whether it be childbirth with literal labor, whether it be labor in their factories, labor in their homes, cleaning up for them, whatever the case may be, but it is to steal women's labor. Number one, first and foremost, the same thing goes for race. It is to steal our labor. The same thing goes for slavery. It's to steal our labor. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. That's all it's about. Please stop with this. They oppress black women. They were targeted through patriarchy and their relationships with black men. Huh? I'm not. What does that comment mean? What do you mean? The one of the first groups of people to be oppressed were black women. What are you talking about? If not the first group of people to be oppressed. What are you talking about? Who told you this? Come up here, A and B. I got a spot for you. I'm not understanding that. It's a bit odd. A bit odd. There goes the link for you, A and B. Come on up. I want to have that conversation with you, please. That's crazy. Oh, does the patriarchy have a natural death? Maybe, like capitalism, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if it does. I don't know if it does. Seems like it can go on forever and ever at this point. I feel you, CC. I got brainwashed early. I identify as a man. I haven't evolved that far yet. Also, it just makes it easier for me. I think that's what. I think for me, that's more what it is. Like, I really don't care. Like, in all honesty, like, I don't get offended if somebody is like, oh, you're gay or you're like, none of that shit offends me. I don't give, like, none, I don't care. I had a woman ask me if I was a trans man one time on a live because she had never heard a man speak like me. That's what she said. If anybody was in that live, y'all could vouch for me. She asked me, was I a trans man? I was like, huh? I took it as a compliment. The things that I was saying to her were so foreign to her, and to hear them come out of a man's mouth, she asked me, was I a trans man? A and B, you still in here? If you could tap, you could yap, brother. Come up in the hit the link. Hit the link, fam. Come on up. You ain't got to cam up or nothing. I just wanna talk to you. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain this to us? When you say they, who are you talking about? Are you talking about white T people? I needs to know. The best thing women can do, I missed that. The best thing women can do is stop having kids, while the best thing men can do is start violently revolting against the ruling class. I like both of those.
Can you hear me?
We got A and B up here. A and B was good.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I keep seeing this within the thread, and I do get that a lot of times people go, "Oh, they were just doing this to black women." Oh, no, 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 no. When they're doing something to women, it's rooted through patriarchy, and it's rooted through how we associate through men. It's of course it's going to be stolen through your labor. Of course it's going to be stolen and it's going to be influenced with how you associate through your men. Women don't generally just go, you know what? I'm not going to give you my labor. You know what? I'm not going to do that. Women are generally influenced by how they are connected to their men, how they are connected to their men and their children. That's why you labor for people. That's why you labor for men. That's how you are always stuck in these never ending cycles of relationships. So when you say is if you give it an external force, it's not an external force, it's connected. So there was a comment mentioning, oh, well, she wasn't here when you broke down the definition of patriarch. And I said, I was, but you missed the point. Stop giving it an external sense. It's because you're connected to something and you care about it. And I do get that most women don't necessarily have the perspective that I do. I don't work for men, I make them work for me. I don't necessarily, my perspective in connecting to men or how I relate to men, I've dated some good men, so I know I have a sort of different sort of opinion, which is why I'm not putting that in within the chat. But my perspective on connectism or connectivity and how culturally I was, you know, raised, but we're all still under patriarchy. I got that part. But what I'm saying is how I was reared through and influenced through the men in my family was I was taught to recognize my power as a woman. You don't allow a man to stand in your face and tell you nothing. You were to receive and understand your power that you were given. You were given the power to outsmart him. You were given the power to outthink him. That's where your strength comes from. He's 4 inches taller than you, 50 pounds heavier. Your job is to outthink him. That's how you make it home. That's how you get past the gas station. That's how you get past him without giving him your number. It's because you're supposed to outthink him. That's where my power lies. So that's what I'm saying. So I do understand that a majority of women, and I do understand that I'm not trying to be outside of other women. I'm still connected to every other woman within this space, and I'm fighting for every other woman. So when people say this is what you should say to women, no, we as women need to chastise other women who keep allowing certain things. And so I advocate for women. If you don't Second Amendment, if you don't get you a can of cola and put it in a good sturdy bag, so when you go into the gas station, you see a group of guys and somebody asks you for your number. If you don't pick that bag up and take it with you, stop trying to be cute. Stop trying to be a nice girl and defend your damn self. What is wrong with you? You have a power that you were given. And so before you think they're going to turn us into the handmaid's tale, I promise you they won't. Because within 1 to 2 generations, if we say, because you can't make women give birth, it is a biological imperative. You can't make us give birth, especially in austere conditions. And we talk about a woman with a nurse's degree. In austere conditions, a woman's body will revolt. There's no such thing. Handmaid's Tale is cute. It's a good story. It won't happen in real life. I understand that there are, I do understand that there are places that we're schmeck trafficking people. And I do understand that there are places that some of these things are going on. But us as human beings having a 9-month gestational cycle, there are a lot of things that will happen. And so when I hear women ready to just, oh, yeah, this might happen, it might happen to you. I promise you, there are a lot of women at me. Listen, we got 50 cals, we got M16s, we got M9s. It's not going to happen to me. And if I got to get you together so we can get the rest of them together, that's what's going to happen. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't, wasn't a counter message. It was about, them not understanding. But when you keep giving into that, you're setting the tone for that. You got to stop that. You got to speak what you want into existence and stop giving up. That's where I was coming from.
Okay. I mean, I can receive that. Um, you just basically a part of the message is like women need to be like stronger and stand up and advocate for themselves and all that stuff. Of course, there's that's always going to be like good, right? Um, I do think that it is I think it's ahistorical to say that you can't force a woman to have a child. It's happened many a times. Um, I mean, chattel slavery would be a great example of that. And B, I think that we should acknowledge what it could be. And we are actually closer to Gilead than we are to what you're describing. So when you said that, oh, I know Handmaid's Tale is cute, but it'll never happen. But how when we're 2 steps away from that. You know what I'm saying? Right now. So what makes you think that we couldn't get there? You know what I mean? Like I think and the reason why I think it's important for us to understand it's not about a fear mongering thing. This is about recognizing where we actually are in the process, right? And so to me, saying that it can never happen, I'm sure that in the early 1900s, in 1935 or whatever, in 1932, there was a bunch of people in Germany saying, oh yeah, that Schmittler guy, oh, it'll never happen. Schmatzies, nah, that's crazy. I'm sure they were saying the same thing, right? But the conditions that created the Schmatzi Germany, it was there. It was rife for that. And I can see the conditions right now in this country and abroad, but in America specifically, rife, perfect for fascism, for extremism, right? We already live we are already there in so many ways, right? They just overturned Roe v. Wade. 30,000 women were forced to have pregnancies against their like. It just happened. It just happened last year. So I don't know, man. I disagree on most of the stuff you're saying, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the part that's important, I think a good thing about you saying though is just like, and nothing's wrong with telling women to protect themselves and to advocate for themselves and all of that stuff. But you can't outsmart everybody, right?
No, no.
You can't outrun everybody.
I do agree that I'm not saying never, but what I'm saying is it's almost like we're right back at that point of the record where that scratch is. It's almost like the same thing we almost do with men at times, where if I'm thinking comes from not knowing. If I'm looking at a situation and I say to a woman, just like I'm gonna give an example. So, this woman said, I told my husband if I see a man, I'm going to give him my number. So I want to be able to make it home. I'm not saying in any and all. So there's no any and all. I, I, I'm going to say this very cautiously. I work in intelligence. So I'm going to say that cautiously. I can't, that's why AMB, that's all my initials. I'm going to say that cautiously. I work in intelligence. So what I'm saying is, so just within that, so let's say that mirror. Oh, I'm going to give this person my number because I want to be able to make it home. Right? So in my head, like I said, my perspective on that, and I'm not the only woman that has a perspective. There are all kinds of gun clubs that I'm aware of. African American women who shoot, African American women did this. This is what I'm saying, and not just African American women. I mean women in general. There are lots of gun clubs, NRA, lots of gun clubs. What I'm saying is, but when I see this concept, there's this thing that, you fragile being. Yeah, you're right. We fragile. These men. I got to give them my number because, I just don't know. And then it's like, wait a second.
But
I get that men are going to be, I get there's a natural, I'm picking a bear too. All right. I'm picking a bear. It's not a problem.
yeah,
Even though I got, listen, I got 50 rounds of ammo. I'm not worried about you or the bear.
But
I got
AB,
50 rounds of ammo, so I'm not worried about you or that bear. But
yeah,
I'm going to pick the bear.
that saved a lot of women though, right? We know that. Giving that man that phone number saved that woman in that moment. Giving that man her
There were
body.
5 other things she could have did instead of giving him that number. That's all I'm saying. But she
So
was
are you
unaware of those options. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just going to say, oh, you poor thing, you should have gave him that number. No, I'm saying, sis, guess what? Sis, up to and including, there were 5 other things you could have done other than giving him your number. And so sometimes you may have to consider, I'm not giving you that number. I'm going to exercise some of them other options. And that may be the thing that shows you I'm willing to stand up to you and face the coward that you are, that you're going to make me feel threatened because you want something from me that I don't want to give you. We know they're not all tough. Everybody in Sylvester Stallone, we know you're not all that tough. But you have to judge the situation. I'm not saying you're going to judge every situation. So, sis, I'm telling you, here are 5 other things that I want you to try doing. You have to judge it for yourself. Instead of, hey, yeah, here go my number, 267-198. No, sis.
What are some of
Keep
those
some
other
of your
options?
dignity.
What are some of those other options?
One, if you're ever out in the morning, you're out, you're getting ready to go to work, always heat up a cup of coffee or hot water. I want it boiling, scalding hot. Always have a coffee cup or something, boiling, scalding hot. Take it with you when you get ready to go to your car. And before you leave out of work, put it in the microwave. Somebody approaching you, you would rather throw it first and worry about asking questions later. Hot water. Now, can of cola, a 12-ounce can of soda. Put it in a sturdy bag. Keep it with you. Make sure the bag is sturdy. Keep it with you. Whenever you're walking anywhere, you're getting ready to go on your little walk, it's a good little weight for you. You can keep 2 of them. Good little weight for you. Somebody approach you, you get to swinging. Now you have a weight and something on your side that the person wasn't expecting. And now you have something that you can use to keep a distance between you and them. They have police batons that you can buy that are 12 inches and 16 inches. You can whip that thing out. Now, what you want to do with the person who's taller than you and bigger than you is to keep a distance. So when you see things on TV, I'm not trying to jump you face to face. No, I'm gonna keep a distance. There's rocks, there's bricks, there's everything. Most thing women are trying to do is save face. No, I swear to you, wallahi, you run up on me, I'm biting noses, necks, ears, wrists. I'm taking something off of you. You come at me, I'm either gonna put you on permanent Social Security disability or it's gonna be some slow singing and flower bringing. I promise you that. Because it's either going one of us ain't gonna make it home, but I'm gonna see you tomorrow. That's what the men in my family taught me. One of us ain't gonna make it, but I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow because I'm coming to the cookout. You got me messed up. You can either get a can of soda, you could get something, you can get hot water. Most of the time, keep a can hot. Like I said, hot cup of coffee or hot tea. Really, generally, you just walking around with a cup of hot water. So anytime you feel like you're going out in the morning when it's dark or you're going to be coming in when it's late, get you a cup of hot water. I don't care if you got to stop at the bodega, stop at 7-Eleven, stop at Wawa's, get you a cup of hot water. Get you a 12-ounce can of soda. Get you a baton. Most states, other than some of those on the East Coast where you can't legally have the baton come to your address, get your friend, your cousin who live in another state. Send a baton to their address, have them send it to you. And when you're dealing with something, you see somebody coming down, forget all that. Oh, well, I'm going to try to smile past that person. No, walk across the street. Forget, oh, well, he might think that,
But
oh, well, I'm just trying to
hold on.
be funny. Yes, I'm going to be funny. I'm going across the street. I'm going to put some distance between you and I.
Wait. Real quick. You said something in the beginning, and
Yes.
I was like, okay. You said we got to outsmart them. What you're
Yes.
describing now doesn't sound like you're outsmarting them. It sounds like you're trying to beat them, like you're trying to match fire with fire and like physical. You know what I mean? And I'm not.
No, because I'm thinking ahead. I don't know who you are and what you're going to do. So I'm thinking ahead. So my thought is always in this situation, if I'm going out and I'm thinking ahead, I already got a plan. So if this happens, boom, I already got a cup with me. If this happens, boom, I already have something with me. So I'm going to be prepared in the event. So you're not going to catch me off guard. I'm going to be prepared in the event that this happens. My first thing is to keep distance between me and you because I don't know you. That's it. But in the event that it turns this way or that way, then now I already know. I got 3 things that I already know off the rip that I'm going to go for. It's either going to be this water, it's going to be this soda, it's going to be my keys, or I'm chewing everything in front of me. You got me messed up. You're going to catch these hands, you're going to catch these teeth, you're going to catch something. And I'm not stopping. I promise you that. My father was a Golden Gloves boxer, taught me how to box. You're going to catch something. You're going to catch something.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about me. I promise you, I'm not trying to go up against anybody like that. Conceal and carry. You're going to catch something. I'm a Second Amendment woman. You're going to catch something. But all I'm saying is I have all of that already prepared in my mind, and I'm not waiting till I'm in that situation. And then now you have adrenaline and fear running, and you don't know if you can pull it out. No, I already got my mindset on that because I'm worthy to make it home. So my protection is the only thing that's important to me.
But A&B, you do know that the likelihood that some random person attacks you is really low, right? You know that the real threat is your father and your brother.
Absolutely.
And your that's
absolutely.
what I'm saying. And you ain't gonna.
No,
I'm just saying, like, no, but hold on, no.
I'm prepared to do that to them too. Absolutely. No. Absolutely.
We can't have these conversations in this way because I feel like it is very dismissive of victims. It's very much encroaching on victim blaming. A little bit like, oh, well, why'd you give him your number? You shouldn't have did that. You should have hit him in the head with a can. Like,
no, but I said whoever that may be, whoever that may be. I don't care if it's your cousin, whoever that may be. You put me in a situation where I feel uncomfortable, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm going for it. I'm gonna remove myself from the threat, or I'm gonna remove the threat from me. That's it. Cousin, uncle, god brother, step brother, my homeboy, you done left in the room with me. I will take him out. I'm either gonna remove myself from the situation, or I'm going to remove you. Either way, I'm not gonna stand there and wait. I'm feeling all eked out. I don't know this joker. This your friend. I'm gonna remove myself from the situation, or if the threat proceeds, I'm gonna remove you. But I'm prepared in my mind already. To me, I'm not trying to blame them. I understand normally it's interpersonal with somebody that you already know. That's what I'm saying. It's not about blaming the victim. What I'm saying is I want all women to have that mindset that you have to be prepared. Cousin, uncle, brother, sister, father, it's you. Your life is important. Stop worrying about what so-and-so gonna think the next day. Cause I'm worried about me making it home the next day. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about me seeing tomorrow and the next tomorrow and being a whole person and not having to worry about going past this and being able. No, it's me I'm the most important person between you and I. And if I have to defend myself, I'm the most important person.
And what should the women do if and when, or whatever, after they were to be assaulted? What should they do?
You mean like just within that scene?
Like legally, like what, like, or whatever. What do you think they should do after?
Oh, number one, first of all, you always preserve evidence. Number one, call the cops immediately. I don't care about no sisters, uncles. Oh, listen, we're going to handle this in the house. No. Call the authorities. Preserve the evidence. Do not go home. I don't care if you got to try to get the evidence, preserve the evidence yourself. Do not, I want to go take a shower. I don't feel well. I understand how you feel. Preserve the evidence. Go to the emergency room. Call the police. You need to do a statement. You need to press charges. And then afterwards, man, I got 50 rounds of ammo. Say you ain't gonna do it to nobody else. I'm just saying. I understand. I do understand. Some people they're gonna have to hand it over to somebody else. I'm on a different wavelength.
Not vigilante.
I just told you I work intel. I'm on a different wavelength. I got statecraft. I'm working a little differently. I'm gonna do myself. Listen, I work differently. I've done surveillance. I'm just a little different. That's all I'm saying. I'm not expecting women to be like me. I'm just saying.
The reason why I was asking is because I think a reason why women don't do those things, why women don't preserve evidence and call the police immediately, is because oftentimes they're met with resistance or dismissiveness. And I feel like it's to me, it's more important for us, to fix the system than it is to tell women how to move and how to maneuver within the system. Because I think most women know how to maneuver within the system. To be honest with you, I do. I truly believe most women know how to all the things you're talking about. I think most women know how to do that. I just think that it's impossible to protect yourself at all times. It is. I mean, in reality, it just is. You're going to let your guard down at some point in time. You're going to be vulnerable at some point in time. If somebody wants to harm you, they can harm you. Like, it's just a reality. So I think that it's a lot of, I don't, like I said, I'll never say that it's not right or fair right or fair for anybody, but mainly a woman, to tell other women to protect yourself and to advocate for yourself. Like, of course, do both of those things. But I think the approach that you're taking, to be honest with you, some people may disagree. You may disagree. It just comes off as very much like you're judging people for being victims. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but like you said, like you got a different perspective, and you're in a different place, and you sound very capable and things of that nature. So I get it. I get that from that perspective, but I don't, like, what percentage of women are like you? What percentage of women were raised by a Golden Gloves boxer? What percentage of women, work Intel and have pews and all that? Like, I live in California. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like I live in LA County. You can't conceal a weapon in my county. Like, they give out one every 10 years to somebody, and they ain't nobody that look like us. And they definitely ain't a woman. So I don't know what, telling women to carry isn't an option. To be honest with you.
I'm in an all women's group. We all meet at the range. There's about 25 of us. I'm in the East Coast. I'm near the city of brotherly love. About 25 of us.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, I do understand that. But what I'm saying is, because we know that we all know the temperature. Things are getting more and more, unhealthy. So we have to be proactive about those things. That's all I'm saying. I promise you, I'm not trying to blame the victim. I'm not victim blaming anyone, because I've worked on a lot of these cases, and that's where my frustration comes out. So it may feel like that to you, because I've worked on a lot of these cases. I've done a lot of investigation, surveillance. I do behavioral studies. I've done a lot of this stuff, and there's a lot of things I had to do work up on these cases, and oftentimes I'm coming in the back end having to piece these things together. Like, okay, I'm Monday morning quarterback, and all right, how did this happen? Da, 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 da. Let me look at this. And then it's oftentimes me coming from this sort of eagle eye view that I'm able to catch the person. And no matter, he could have had, I don't know, 17 chaps. Oh no, he was at the bar with us. We was da 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 da. And I've had that. And it'd be those one little things. They used to call me eagle eyes. They'd be like, how did you get this? All these, I mean, he could have all the excuses in the world, this, that, whatever the case may be. And I can find that one little track of evidence that's, clearly flipped it. Clearly you lying, you flipped it. And now I've made that case against you to where I clearly can show your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, there you go. So it doesn't matter what she said. It matters what I found. And so that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking at that perspective. So that's why I say, when I'm saying advocating for women to, okay, do this, do this, do that, because if it wasn't for some of those things that they did, that's how I was able to find those breadcrumbs in order to get that person that, even though some of them may have been like, oh, I don't know if I want to go through this. I get it. But oftentimes now at this point, it's out of your hands. It's up to me to still get that person, whether you want to get them or not, because now I need to prevent them from, one, either reoffending you or offending someone else. So I do know that, I guess, sort of my perspective, my socialization may seem more clinical to you and maybe not as emotional, but I'm not an emotional woman. I'm a more logical, rational woman. I'm just not wired that way, because I'm wired to sort of see it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, okay, let me think. I got to think my way out. That's just who I am. That's just who I've always been. Like, okay, I got to think my way out of this situation.
I think also, I think that saying stuff like, or you don't think that you need emotion to be rational? I think emotions is what makes people rational, right? So I don't think that when you're, you know what I mean? Like, I think having a command of your emotions and processing your emotions properly is what actually makes you more rational. And because you can't have critical thinking without emotion. You need it.
No, I don't mean without those. Everything is compartmentalized. It's not a. It's one of those things because, and so let me backtrack in that, because it's often this thing where people come with this. Oh, women are so emotional. No, don't do that. To me, everything, it's sort of a compartmentalization. It's not about that. So if I'm looking at something and I'm viewing it and I'm going through the logic and the rationalization of it and I'm doing the break, it has nothing to do with um it has nothing to do with sort of this it's not to say it's devoid of emotion. Let me say it that way. It's not to say it's devoid of emotion, but there's a time and a place for that. There's a
Yeah.
time and a place for that. So to me, it's after my case is done. There's a time and a place for that. It's not during my case. It's not during this time. I have to sort of I gotta everything is in this compartment. I gotta sort of move that to the side and just be able to just function in a different sort of way. It's not
Mm,
devoid of emotion, but allow to me, I can't allow that to sort of steer me in a way. In a way it functions because now it's got me more focused, but not to the extent where I feel like people want to use that and say, oh, because you're a woman, you're being more emotional. No, I caught you because I'm more logical, not because I'm more emotional. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's sort of a cop out when because to me, it's not to say that they're not saying you have emotion, but I feel like they're using it sort of like as a weakness, like, oh, well, you're being more emotional. No, I caught you because I'm more logical and I'm smarter than you, not because I'm more emotional. Like, has
mm,
nothing to do with that. That's why you got caught.
okay. Um. Okay. I'm sorry. I really do appreciate you coming up, A and B. My
No, no
screen is
worries.
frozen. I've been trying to work on it, but it's not working. So I'm probably gonna have to
No
end the
worries. I
live stream.
appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. I appreciate you coming up. I can't do anything. You got to drop yourself. I can't.
No worries. I will do that. Thank
All
you.
right, cool. I can't.
All
I
right.
can't do
Have a
anything
good
right
one.
now. My screen is frozen. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Um. Hmm. Unfortunate. I wanted to keep this going. Um. Hold on. Let me see something. There we go. That was crazy. I was froze. Had your boy frozen. Like Elsa. We bike. Yeah, thanks for coming up, A and B again. That was an interesting conversation. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Oh man, that was interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me too. I'm glad we bike up in this thing. Man, that was crazy. Imagine imagine waking up every morning and see if you have everything in case you get attacked. Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a fine line, right? Cause is it wrong to tell people to protect themselves? No. In a vacuum, nah. Of course that's not wrong. I hear you. But imagine people coming in here and we talking about racism and the effects of racism and how they be sicking dogs on us when we be at protests and stuff like that. And then somebody coming in here like, black people, arm yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I would be against it. I'm just saying I would be like, okay, but that, like, so you just talking about open warfare at this point? Like, what are we what are we saying? What are we saying? Can these people not sick freaking dogs on us and turn water hoses and hit us in the face at point blank range with water hose? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I hear that. It's a fine. It's a, that's where that's when the disconnect happens. Exactly. Yeah, my thing is, I'm like, hey, men, stop being violent. Hey, men, if you're gonna be violent, just be violent towards other men. At least they can. What's the old saying? Pick on somebody your own size. You know what I'm saying? At least go after somebody that can defend themselves. You know, that's where I'll be coming from with it. I don't know if I want to be telling people, I don't know. I think it's kind of problematic at some point. Women aren't staying for the kids anymore. Mm, did I miss that? Women aren't staying for the kids. It's definitely not happening as much as it used to, but I think it's still happening a lot. Leaving behind in a 50-50 fight reduces your number one. Leaving behind in a 50-50 fight reduces your number one. Oh, that was weird. All right. It's definitely on the decline. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as like it ain't happening no more. I think a lot of women are staying still because men be still a threat to them babies, and women be like, I gotta stay and protect my baby. So, but that's good though. That's a good thing. Dipping out, lead that toxic shit. That's fair. Self love, not self sacrifice. That's a bar. I like that too. Everything is politics. On the job, we need more women who mentor other women. Back in the day, we also had investment clubs because it was harder to get into the market. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at, Charlotte. It's a little bit of a stretch. like giving like teachers pews in the classroom is a little wild to me. It's the same to me. It's like the same thought process. Like, why are we like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should create a condition. We should create a society in which teachers don't need pews in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me though. Sounds like Darwinism. A little bit of a stretch. That was way off topic, by the way, but I'll allow it. Y'all know sometimes we got to let the lives go where they go. This is a special live for Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers, man. Happy Father's Day. Also, is a shout out to the fathers that be saying be acting like they care about. I just heard a dude today in a live earlier. He said women. He was basically trying to like disparage women because this is his words. He was like he basically was trying to say that women don't have any accountability in our society because there was a woman allegedly or apparently, I don't know, I didn't hear her, but she threw her child in the trash can and then the police caught her and then they just sent her to counseling and she didn't go to prison for it or something like that. And they gave the baby back to her. And he used that one example to say that women don't have any accountability or any responsibility for when they mess up in society. And I was like, that's crazy. I don't know about that one. It's a little it's a little weird, man. So yeah, it's a lot. It's some so that's what kind of like inspired me with this. It was a whole train of thought I had because then it was like, they always want to vilify women for a lot of men want to vilify women because they have the right to choose. But really, the reason why men are mad at that is because I'll do another live on this. I should have actually did it today. It would have connected. But men use pregnancy as a way to trap women, right? A lot of men use pregnancy as a way to control women. And so they want to limit a woman's option, to get out of that situation, right? So yeah, you got her in a trap, but the terminated pregnancy would be a trap door, right? In his mind, he's like, well, that's I can get out of it. It's a way to get out the box. So they want to take that. They want to take that right away, and also that's the reason why a lot of men don't care to fight for women to have bodily autonomy because they want they're like, well, how will I trap her if she can go get she can go terminate the pregnancy, But my thing is like I said a million times, and it's in the prompt, I just believe that if men treated women better, that they would be less inclined to terminate the pregnancy. I don't know about that, T. Williams. I don't think forcing men to marry women is the answer. Because what does marriage stop? I mean, I'm a married man. This is not. I'm not against marriages or anything like that. But what do, as it pertains to the protection of women, how does making a man marry a woman that he didn't plan on marrying, whether they had a child or not, he didn't plan on, how does that help her? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think marriage favors men. So I think that would just compound the situation and make it worse for her, to me. But maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm not for forcing birth either. Of course, I'm not for either one. I'm just saying that I don't think that forcing birth, I don't think that forcing marriage is the answer. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that would combat what we're talking about. I think it just makes the situation worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with forcing women to marry a man that they don't want to marry. Like the women don't want to marry the men. What about her? And then the man doesn't want to marry her either. So it's like, why are we forcing them to be married? I don't know. We should make it, if I'm saying we should make it easier for them to not be together, but also take care of the child. You know what I mean? I think that's really, to me, I think that's the better. I think that's a better solution to that problem. Yeah, marriage in a lot of cases is definitely a trap for a lot of women. It's definitely a setup. Yeah, I'm all for, marry and all that stuff. Like I said, there's nothing against being married, but I just don't think that would be I don't think that would actually be the cure. Why do people think marriage solves problems? It solves certain problems, but it doesn't solve the problems that make the situation bad. You know what I'm saying? But it solves some problems because it's a legally binding contract, right? That's recognized by the state. So there are certain things that, like if you're a man and you're married and you have a child, then that baby is automatically yours, right? So you don't got to go do paperwork. You ain't got to sign a birth certificate or none. You got rights automatically. So okay, if you unalive or you pass away, your wife or your spouse or whatever can get your pension, or they can get your SSI or whatever the case may be moving forward. If you're married, you can put somebody on your insurance and things of that. Like it's rooted all in like legalities and stuff like that. But like the actual relationship, getting married doesn't help the relationship at all. Like not even a little bit. I don't know what are we talking about? That's crazy. Marriages are all for it's all about protection, legal, it's legal protections to me. I'm talking about the paperwork, because if you don't have the white man paperwork, then what are we talking about? Right? If you want to be married in quote unquote spirit, go get an officiant or somebody to, what I'm saying, and do a wedding without marriage license, without marriage licenses. Right? That's fine. Go do that. That's fine. That way, you know what I mean? Like, because a part of being married, going through with the whole, like, the ceremony, I would say a part of the ceremony is to like make a public declaration that you're gonna take care of this person and yada yada yada. So the expectation is greater when you do that, right? But I mean, if you need that, if you needed that to bind yourself or whatever to this person, then maybe maybe you aren't ready to be married anyway. Maybe marriage isn't for you. Not with this person, at least. Maybe you need to find your person. Yeah, commitment ceremony. Yeah, you want to do that? Fine. Go do that all day long. You forced the woman. How about force the man to get married, pay the doctor bills? T. Williams, that's what I'm saying. You don't got to force him. I agree then. Like, take out the marriage, because you don't need to marry somebody to be forced to pay bills and all of that stuff. Just make the man pay for the stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you on that. I was thinking more like make the man pay. I'm with you on that all day long. He should have to pay. But being married doesn't solve that. That's all I was saying. It doesn't. You can do what you want to do without being married. That's my point. And I just feel like forcing two people to be married actually puts the woman at risk. She's at higher risk now. That's why I'm thinking about protecting her. I'm like, I don't believe that would actually solve anything. I think it would actually make her worse. Oh, okay, T. Williams, I got you. Got you. I can't read all the comments, y'all. I'm sorry. So if I miss something, if I pick up on something, don't take it personal. I didn't see it. Marriage to the wrong person is the worst choice. Marriage is a legal contract between the spouses and the state. Yeah. Honey Flower said, listen to old school love songs. They were suffering. Wasn't they? Police and sex has never been the answer, so we need to move past the idea as if it's a solution. Yeah, I don't believe in police and sex at all. Not even a little bit. Not one bit. So it's a wild concept. Yeah, old school love songs would be having you. The 90s love songs was cool, but the old school, like the 70s, 60s, even the 80s, man. I don't know, man. Listen to that. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, love. That was SZA before SZA. When I think about her. Really, I can't explain. When I look at you. They was wilding in that song, man. Listen to that song. That song crazy. I'll be singing. I was 10 years old singing that song at the top of my lungs with all my heart. Our parents' name was wrong, man. It was raised by boomers. A boomer can't judge me by what I be letting my kids listen to. I don't want to hear shit. Y'all had me listening to y'all had me listening to the worst shit on the face of the planet. I Will Survive is crazy. Listen to that song, man. I Will Survive is crazy. Damn, appreciate you. I Will Survive is crazy. If you think you lonely now, oh my God. Which version? Bobby Womack or KC or KC? I'm partial to the KC version, personally. When them skeletons come out of your closet and chase you all around the room, yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was crazy. Go listen to old school Whitney Houston. She man, Whitney was going through some things. Whitney was going through some things around 88. Go listen to Whitney around 88. Appreciate you. Thanks for the happy Father's Day. Hey, go listen to Whitney around 88. She was going, it was some stuff going on, man. I don't know what was going on, but it was something going on with Whitney around 88. Rest in peace. Whitney, saving all my love for you was crazy. Crazy. Nasty work. And Whitney the GOAT in my book. Y'all can argue with your mammies. Whitney the GOAT, but I'm just saying. That was before that was before Bobby, Anita. Saving all my love for you was before Bobby. I'm pretty sure that was before Bobby. Saving all my love. I think that was before. I want to say that was before Bobby. Yeah, because that was like on their second album. Yeah, I think it was on her second album. Thanks for the chat, Queen. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. All I'm saying is, it was before Bobby. Yeah. Yeah, she was wilding, man. Oh, y'all, Mary J, my generation, but Mary J was the Moke and Steph. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. I was like, God dang. I remember thinking that song was crazy in the 90s. As a teenager, I remember thinking that song was crazy. I was like, wait. This is crazy. I was around 13, 14, like, wait a minute, Moke and Steph. That song is not trash. Do not that song not trash. It's, the message, yeah, the message is the song, however, is not trash. The song is great. The message, however, is trash. I agree. He might be doing you, but he's thinking about me. Eek. I was like, damn. Nuh-uh. You don't run free. We talk about that one. What'd he say? I wish he wouldn't trust me so much. I wish he wouldn't trust me so much. Crazy. Barbara calling Shirley. That's the ultimate. That song. That shit should be banned. Actually, that song should have an age restriction. You shouldn't be able to listen to that until you like 40. Mm-hmm. Man, it's too many of them songs. They sure did, Anita. They sure did marry the same. They sure did smash this. They brothers and Eskimo brothers. Matter of fact, quiet as kept. Quiet as kept. Yeah. Crazy. Wild work. Yeah, them babies don't. Hey man, having a baby don't stop dudes from leaving, man. I just, just to anybody that's listening, if you didn't know, let me tell you that. If you didn't know, having a baby don't stop men from leaving. I just want to tell y'all that right now. Having a baby does not make that man act right. I just want to tell you that right now. More than likely, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you something. More than likely, he gonna start acting up more once that baby come. I don't know. That's sad, but I'm sure most of the women that have had it, they will attest to that. They've experienced it. They experienced it. wait. Please leave my man alone songs were popular. Begging somebody to leave your man alone on the song is crazy. Just, I don't know, man. Telling somebody, which brings us to the topic. Absolutely. Right back. Everything point back to the topic. That's the funny thing. Everything point back to the topic. That's what's crazy about it. We can't escape it. Jolene, oh my God. Beyonce just remade that joint. I was like, what is you doing? That's a great question, Honey Flower. But why doesn't the man want to be better for the kids? Because he don't have to be better. A lot of men don't do things without. A lot of times, a lot of men, we don't function, we don't grow without direct consequences, and a lot of men don't see direct. There aren't many, if any, direct consequences in not being a better person for most men. That's just the reality, and it's unfortunate, right? But it's the reality for a lot of men. Not having direct consequences is whooping men's asses. I'm looking. They got me. I was like, I'm dark. I ain't that dark though. I want y'all can't even see my damn face. It's pitch black. He needs some consequences in this no abortion manner. Yep. Absolutely, T. Williams. There gotta be some consequences on these dudes, man. Gotta be. And they gotta go beyond. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. They really need to step up on the child support laws or something, because the men ain't feeling the fire. The men ain't feeling the fire. Nah, I ain't trying to. I'm only light skinned on TikTok. I only got called light skinned on TikTok. I never been called light skinned my whole life. I was like, what is y'all doing? Calling me light skinned. I ain't nothing, and I ain't got no, I got nothing but love for my light skinned folks. But man, I ain't never been that. It's too hot. Too hot. Yeah. It's too hot. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Like Akon. That's crazy. That's my brother complexion. My brother is dark as Akon. That fool. That's my guy. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the light. The lighting is off. The lighting is all off. I don't like my lighting. A woman could try to hold him accountable, stand on business, and they'll just replace her. Exactly. That's what happens the majority of the time when women try to when women try to hold those types of men accountable, or men just go, okay, no worries. And there's a woman, and there's a woman that is willing. To that woman, that man is the best thing since sliced bread. Raising a collective standard for everybody is damn near impossible. Can't do it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I'm not on TikTok today because I'm banned until Monday at 5:00. So we just having a cool little YouTube live for my YouTube peoples. I liked it. I like going live on YouTube. I do. We just need more people to come up. So don't worry, it'll happen. We'll start to get the riffraff in here soon. I just got to go live more consistently. It's happening. Cali, Massachusetts, and a few more states have bills to start child support during the woman's pregnancy. Ooh, man. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about child support. I ain't never. My mama never received it, and I ain't ever been on it. So I don't know nothing about it. Appreciate you. Thanks, Rose. It's rough out here. That's what I be saying, Anita. They be letting all types of stuff slide through on some. They be on some Matador shit, on some Olay, like just letting everybody just say whatever. I get banned. I got banned for playing another person's video that was on the video was on TikTok. I played it and got banned for playing it. I'm like, wait, how did you ban me for playing a video on your platform? Why wouldn't you ban the video? Why wouldn't you ban his video? How would I know that it wasn't allowed on a live? Why y'all got different rules for lives than you do for videos? It just like nothing made sense. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Exactly, Golden Lady. Exactly, Golden Lady. It's funny how 1 minute we care so much about children, we think abortion, we think terminated pregnancy should be banned. The next minute we think it's okay for men to abandon their kids. Exactly. Exactly. Thanks, Messiah. I try to. So-called protectors and providers. Yeah, men don't protect women. We already know that. Men don't protect women or children. That's one of that I remember. What's his name? Harrison Buchter. That was when he said diabolical lie that women were told. The most diabolical lie that women were told is that men are protectors and providers. That's the most diabolical lie that women have been told. It's not all men is also a diabolical lie that women have been told. It's crazy. I'm here to break up the diabolical lies that men tell each other, though. That's what I want to do. I came to break up the diabolical lies that men tell other men, and that eventually make it to women's ears. Because the shit that men be saying is, I'm like, this cannot be. This is crazy. This is the opposite of the truth. This is wild. Like, the things they say oftentimes don't even have like a glimmer of truth in them. But I'm wrong for telling them they should protect themselves. No, you're not wrong for telling women to protect themselves. I don't know if you were saying that to me. I never said you were wrong for telling women. I just think it was. I think the approach was wrong, if anything. I don't think in and of itself to tell women to protect themselves is wrong. Why would that ever be wrong? But like I said earlier, to blame it, like telling black people we need to, walk around strapped up all the time as an answer to white supremacy doesn't seem like the actual answer to ending white supremacy. That's what I'm saying. And then saying like, well, a white person could jump out the bushes at any time, or the police could do da. That's why you got to stay strapped up. And why would you ever be respectful to that police officer? You know what I'm saying? Don't ever be respectful to that police officer. Talk to him the way you want to, and have your pew ready to pull out on him if you need to, and get you a baton so you can fight. It's like, it's just a lot. Like, I'm not, or we could change the system, and in the meantime, make it home the way you need to make it home, right? Get that man. If that man is asking you for your number, get that man your number. Even if you got a pew on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or give him a number, whatever the case may be. Give him your number and change it. I don't give a fuck. Like, who wants to go out? Like, who wants to unalive somebody? I'm saying, if you really think, like, here's what I'm saying. Somebody ask you for your number. You don't want to give him your number, but you feel like he may try to, do something to you, right? Physically. Okay. Yeah, you got a pew on you, but who wants to deal with that? So here's my number. Okay. Now you try to walk away and he get, you know what I'm saying? He's still pressing you. Now that's when the pew is, yes. Now you got it. Now that's when you pull it out. Now that's when you use it, or whatever the case may be. I totally understand that. But the first line of defense should always be to diffuse the situation and to de-escalate the situation. That's why a lot of men specifically don't need to have pews, because they be quick to use them. They so damn scary. And then they get bold, and then they get that courage when they get that pew on them. Everybody get that false courage on them. You know what I'm saying? When they get that pew, now they don't want to. In a normal situation, they would de-escalate the situation. Now they want to be a hard rock, and they want to make it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. We can't have that. That's crazy. Yeah. Victorious women are abusive too. What does victorious women mean? Tommy, you still in here? Where my mods at? We got to mute Tommy. He didn't want to come up, man. Tommy, man, I'm sorry, bro. We gonna have to mute you for the rest of the. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll be honest with you. I wanted you to come up. If you could tap, you could yap, man. I don't know what here. I'll give you one more shot. Let's give you one more chance in here, broski. Put it in. We'll do it for you. We'll put it in the chat. Put it in the chat for you. There you go. It's right there. Oh, maybe he meant by curious. Yeah, maybe. But victorious was crazy. See, CL, you went to court to pay child support? You put yourself on child support, you saying. That's good. That's good. I don't think anything's wrong with that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not going. Me personally, if I get divorced and we got to do that shit, I don't need to go to court. I'm not saying that I'll be opposed to doing it. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like I would ever need to. I would just pay whatever the fuck needed to be paid. Damn, I cursed. I would just pay whatever the heck needed to be paid when it needed to be paid. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be a big deal to me. She ain't got no food in her refrigerator. I got you. You know what I'm saying? She need help buying a new car. I got you. I help you buy a new car. She need a deposit to get a new place. I got you. Don't worry about it. And I ain't gonna ask for no coochie or nothing. It's just for the sake of my child. If anything, and also just because it's just the right thing to do. This ain't even black people business, Tommy. Tommy said he a white T man. He's staying out of black people business. You don't use the race card on us, brother. This ain't even black people business. What you talking about, Tommy? Where you get that from? Because we black? Tisk tisk, Tommy. Tisk tisk. Well, you said black people business. Who is you? Is you now? Is you or is you ain't you? What is you? Is you or is you ain't? You black or not? If you ain't black, what is you? It's only one other race you could be. There's only one other race you could be. So if you ain't black and you ain't white, what is you? Oh, Tommy racist. Hey, yeah. I'm happy you said that. Hey, mods, block Tommy for life. Get him up out of here. Yeah, go on and block Tommy for life. Peace out, Tommy. I can't block him from where I'm at. But y'all get him on up out of here, man. Yeah. Go on get that man up out of here. Oh no, I could do it. Never mind. I got it. All right, Tommy. Have a good day, man. That was funny. I don't know. I didn't laugh at that one. And that's what I'm saying. Child abandonment is not a black man. Sir, 20%. Look, okay. So if you go look up the numbers, right? About between 20 and 25% of all men, of all married, I'm sorry. So, okay, let me take it back. When men are married and they get divorced, 20 to 25% of them completely abandon their children. Now, how can it be a black man problem? When for the number to be that high, 20, 25%, automatically shows that it's a white T man problem too. It's just a man problem because black men only make up we make up what 8% of the population. And then you want to take into account the lack of black men that are actually married. Like we ain't even married. Hey, we don't even black men are allergic to marriage. We can't stand. We will lie. We tell so many lies about marriage. It's ridiculous. I hear black men lie about marriage all the time. All the time they lie about marriage, right? So black men ain't even getting married. So if the number, like I said, so you put those two things together, it don't make no sense. 25% of all married men are completely abandoning their children. That sounds like a white man problem, brother. Yeah, there's only 3 races. He said he wasn't white. And he said it's black people problem. So I guess he was Asian. I don't know. Five racial categories? I never heard of that. What's the other 2? Black, white, Asian. What's the other 2? Yeah, white men don't like paying child support either. White men abandon their kids too. Like, what is we talking about? Is indigenous a race? Native American Pacific Islander. Native American is a race. Interesting. Yeah, that's and I that's what I talk about all the time though. Like exactly, I'm here. Like I don't like everything to be racialized. I don't like when that's why I want to make I peep a lot of times in these spaces. Black people have these conversations as if only black people go through this stuff. Like there's a content creator that I have seen her videos, and I actually stitched one of her videos where she was saying only black people talk about finances in a relationship, and I thought that to be one of the most anti-black things I've ever heard of. I was like, what? Only black people talk about finances in a relationship? She was like, because it's just assumed that in other relationships the man is going to make the money and the but. And I was like, what? What planet are we? When did that happen? I missed that memo. No, I booted him already, K. Don't worry about it. I didn't know indigenous was a race because I thought anybody can be indigenous. Like black people are indigenous to Africa, right? But I don't know. I gotta look into that. I didn't know that. But yeah, I be hearing stuff like that, and I don't like having those conversations. I don't like having these conversations like and people will come up on in my spaces all the time and they'll be like, well, only and they, I don't know if they think I think they think it makes them sound like pro-black or whatever the case may be, because they'd be like, well, I only care about black people, so I'm only gonna talk about it from the black perspective and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that doesn't like what? That's not that's not what I don't take it as that. Like it sounds like the opposite to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're pro-black, why are you talking about issues that like in this country that black people didn't create? Why are you talking about them through the lens of solely black people, as if black people exist outside of the system, or as if black people are responsible for the system that perpetuates the most harm against us? Like I don't understand that. Like why are we not talking about the system? Why are you talking about black people? You see what I mean? And then at the same time, though, a lot of those same people, mainly because those are men who say that, if you they'll be like, oh, what are you talking about? Black men don't benefit from the patriarchy. So I'm like, what? It doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't make sense. Think of an application when applying for a job as well. I don't care about the race stuff. Race is, I really couldn't care less about race. I think race is weird. The more I understand about race, the more the less I care about it because I see how stupid it is. Same thing with gender. The more I understood about gender, the more I started to not care about it. Like every day I care less and less and less about gender. Couldn't care less. Midnight snack. That's a crazy name. What don't you agree with? Who told me what, game nerd? Black people often come from generational poverty. So if one of the parents walk out, or both you end up in the foster system. To other this doesn't happen to other groups as much as the elders have 401ks. Mm, yeah, I mean, I don't know about the 401k part having anything to do with it, but there's a ton of white tea people in foster care, so I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's tough to have these conversations just talking like from the lens of black people. I just don't feel like it's. I don't feel like it's healthy. I feel like it limits the conversation and it doesn't tell the whole truth. It leaves out a lot of the truth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, nah, I don't. That's why I don't have the conversation from the lens of a black man or from the lens of black women or from the lens of black people or whatever the case may be. Also, we say this, but I don't think we actually believe this. Black people are not a monolith. We're not a monolith. So if you truly believe that, then also why are we talking about things from the quote unquote black lens? Because like what? Not every black person experiences everything the same. It doesn't. There are middle class black people. There's poor black people. There's rich black people. There's black people that grew up in the projects. There's black people that grew up in the projects in New York. There's black people that grew up in the projects in New Orleans, and there's black people who grew up in the projects in LA. And those projects are different. They function different in different places a lot of times because there's gang culture in LA. There's not so much gang culture in New York. There's like it's just different. Like we all didn't. It ain't. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We are. I thought that when we said black people aren't a monolith, that we knew what that meant. You know what I mean? Like I really thought we knew what that meant. I didn't think we were just saying it to say it. I thought it was like, no, we're really not a monolith. Like we really have different experiences, and we see life through different. Da, 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 da. Now that's totally different. That doesn't mean that there's not a diaspora. That doesn't mean that we're not connected in some way just because of our blackness. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not. One thing does not negate the other. But I would rather talk about these things from a systemic standpoint. A, because I believe it's going to take all men, groups of men, not literally all men, but it's going to take all groups of men to dismantle the patriarchy, not just black men. So why would I want to talk to the group who have the least amount of power in this society? Right? If I want to end racism, I'm not going to talk to black people. You know what I'm saying? If I want to destroy racism, I'm not gonna. If I want to end capital, well, I ain't gonna hold you. If I want to end capitalism, I'm gonna talk to poor working class people. But that's a different. That's where capitalism becomes a little different. Oh, you want to talk? Come up, Midnight Snack. Man, that's a wild name. If you can see, I put the link in the chat. There it goes right there. I pinned it now. Tap the link. And you can join. Mm, Not only is the dating goalpost moving all the time to higher standards, so is the economic goalpost. Most women were told by both parents to get a job or degree before pregnancy and marriage. Mm, mm, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi. So I guess I'm not understanding completely what you mean, but you were talking about why we don't like talk about systems. And I think one of the issues I've had with like systems analysis is that it's hard for me to divorce the individuals that make the system. And so when we talk about a lot of issues, I feel like there's an over reliance on that kind of analysis, and not on the individuals, where, if there's enough of them, they make the system, either directly or indirectly. And you said that, you know, you had a problem with people that talk about things in only a Black context. I think that in the Black community, way too often, we try to excuse a lot of the behaviors because someone else was doing it. I mean, I don't know how many times I had to hear about what about Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? And these are common tactics to deflect from issues that are happening within the community. I do think a lot of things are unique to Black people. And, to be fair,
Name
a lot
one.
of the things we do.
Can you name one thing that's unique to Black people besides chattel slavery?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, can you name one thing in 2024 that is unique to Black people?
Well, so when I talk about that, I'm not talking about that. I feel like I'm not articulating this well. Like, I'm talking about some of the intercommunal dynamics that we attribute to other people, right? Like, when I talk about, because I'm in healthcare, I talk about like maternal death, right? Um, and maternal fetal death of Black women and their babies. A lot of times you'll get the people who will say, well, what about this over there? People are doing it over there without full context, without understanding that we can talk about things, understanding systems analysis, but understand that within these systems, there are individuals that make up these parts, and that we are uniquely affected by certain things, right? We talk about, the essay stats for Black girls before they turn the age of 15. I don't want to hear, as a Black female, oh, well, the white man does this too. As a Black woman, I'm in community with Black males. I don't care
Oh,
what's going on over there.
okay.
Talk
Yeah,
about how this affects us. So I
yeah,
get what you're
yeah.
saying.
No. Wait, I can hear that. No. I'm totally on. Yeah, I don't. Me
So
personally, I
that's
don't
what
ever.
I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I systems analysis. I work within the carceral system, where every societal problem meets literally in jail or within the Department of Corrections and the federal prison systems. But there are things unique to us that we have to put only in a Black context. I'm not saying these things only affect Black people, but we do have to talk about how they uniquely affect individuals within these groups and within these systems. That's all I'm saying.
I think. Yeah. So yeah, me personally, I don't ever do the like deflect. Like, yeah, I don't do the deflection. It wouldn't be like if we were talking about. If we were talking about the like like what you were talking about, essaying of small, girls, right? Yes, you can speak to Black men about that directly, no doubt about it. But my question would be, what I'm saying is though, but why do Black men do it more, right? If that's the case, I'm just saying in this particular, I don't even know if that's true, because I don't even think that that's true, to be honest with you. But let's say that Black men did that more, whatever it is. Let's say Black men do it more than everybody else. Then my question to you or to anybody would be, why? Why do you think Black men do it more, right?
Right.
And that's where I come from, as far as like, that's why we have to talk about the system, because I can almost guarantee you from everything I've seen, it's going to be connected to something in the system that is the number one driver as to why we do it more than everybody else. Almost every single time. I haven't never experienced anything really negative. I haven't really experienced anything negative or seen anything negative that Black people have that Black people do, that where I can't trace it back to this system, or I can't trace it back to slavery, or so, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like there's nothing I can think of. So that's why I don't like having the conversation from the aspect of hey, Black men, you do this, and it's like, no. Yeah, I get it. Black men do it worse, and da 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 da. Like, I'm all like, I totally understand that. But if we're trying to stop it, right? If we're trying to find out the reasons why it is actually happening, and you know what I mean? Like if you're in healthcare, then you understand about getting a proper diagnosis, right? So
Hell yeah.
right, so we need to diagnose the problem properly so we could give the proper prognosis. Coming at it from that, like just saying, well, black men, you do this more than everybody else, you fix it. Okay, how? Because we still haven't identified why we do it more than everybody. We don't know why we do it at all, to be honest with you. But then,
Right.
so first we have to identify the why we do it at all, and then why do we do it more than anybody else, right? And that's it. So I like to take a holistic approach almost every single time we have these discussions. I don't think that it really benefits us to single out black people in any way, shape, or form. To me, it doesn't make any sense when we're talking about solving the problem. Now, if you want to talk about the like from your once again, if you want to talk about like the infant mortality rate, if you want to talk about the you know the birthing mortality, you know, the what's it postpartum, you know, whatever women unaliving after pregnancy and all of this stuff for black women is way higher. Let's point that out. Definitely, let's highlight that. It's you have to highlight it, right? But then we got to go back to the why is it happening more to black women? Oh, because they don't believe black women when black women say that they're in pain, you know, yeah, you know, all these things, right? Oh, where does that come from? Oh, that's because black people, you know, systemically they have taught white people have implicit biases, and everybody has these implicit biases against black people and yada. So now let's get to the like now we can actually cure it because we can meet it, we can meet the problem where it starts, which is it starts with racism. It starts with, you know what I'm saying? It's starting with teaching this lie that black people don't feel pain as much as everybody else. As black women don't feel pain as much as white women, you know, don't believe black women can suffer through more stuff, which started during slavery, right? Which we know. We got to nip it in the bud. But if we just keep just talking about how much work, I'm saying if we got stuck on how much worse it is for black women, then I don't think we would ever actually get to the cure. I think we would just be stuck on it's just worse for black women, right? And then it's like, okay, I get that, but like let's focus on solving the problem for once. And I want to be very, very clear when we talk. There are things that I do believe, and I agree with you. We're talking about having a conversation devoid of the trying to separate the people from the system or whatever. People make up the system. I agree, and that is a reason why I like to focus on what people do, right? As individuals, I do like to focus on that as well, because it is going to take enough like-minded people like you and me and these, you know, most of these people in the chat and so on and so forth. Is going to take an effort of like-minded individuals coming together to change the system. You see what I mean? Like, so we at this point, I don't think we got enough like-minded people on the same page. So we got to do the work there first. And then once we get enough like-minded people, now let's go and attack and tackle the system and blah, 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 blah. You know what I
I
mean? Like
think one of the
that's my
things that I struggle with in having these conversations a lot of times, you know, around the topics that you discuss is that, like, for one, like everything you say makes sense, but when we're talking about the black community and in particular the black male collective taking accountability for things, when we talk about the system in that context, it very easily teeters into whataboutism. And I think I didn't articulate this very well, but I think that is my main gripe. Like, I like talking about systems analysis, I like doing it, but very often it turns into what about that guy over there? Like when we were talking about R. Kelly and how he was able to navigate, you know, different, you know, areas and unscathed, by the way, right? And we talk about how, you know, what the implications are for black girls as a whole and how this is represented in stats, yada, yada, yada. Very often the systems analysis in that would turn into, well, what about Harvey Weinstein, right? Or something along that line. And it's really hard having these conversations with this particular demographic because of how easy that whataboutism is accessed when it's time to actually do systems analysis and like unpacking a lot
Mhm.
of things they say and do.
You ain't never lied about that. Trust me. I know. I have that conversation often with the fellas, and they can't seem to ever get away from the but what about the white T man doing? I'll be like, bro, come on, man. Like, come on, bro.
My thing is, first I would say, well, what about it? But the other part is like, well, you see this dude is doing this stuff over here and it's not okay. Your excuse is, well, he gets to do it. Why can't I? Like,
That's exactly what they think.
yeah. And so it devolves into that. And then we are back at square one. I feel like if we were talking about a demographic that was way more open to self-reflection and change, I wouldn't be so uncomfortable with systems analysis and more comfortable with focusing on individuals. But that's where it ends up going, and then it ends up a gaslight at the end of the day. So that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't understand at first, but I mean, you did clarify it for me.
Yeah. No, I hear that. No, and I totally understand what you're saying too. And I want to be clear, like, I ain't on that type of time at all. I don't you would never hear no, but what about whatever. We talking about, like, if somebody telling me something about, like you said, once again, if you bring up like we talk about like black men pushing weight in the community. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely gonna be also talking about the individuals who chose to push weight. No doubt about it. I'm not gonna be like, well, who flew it in? Who got it here? Like, no, I get all of that. I understand all of that stuff, but you didn't have to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like you still made that choice to do it. I ain't saying I understand that a lot of people are going to choose to do it because they don't have any other way out. And that's how the system works, right? They really feel like they don't have any other way out. I get it. I get that, right? If you've ever grown up, if any of y'all grew up similarly, similar to the way that I grew up, you saw people that you knew, that you identified when they were 9, 10, 11 years old. You knew they didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
You knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew it. You knew. I saw plenty of people growing up that I was like, no way in hell they grow up to they might not make it past 30. They're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna, they might not ever get out of this cycle. They're gonna be strong, whatever. And the vast majority of them actually they ended up that way. Some of them made it out, very very few, but some, majority of them ended up exactly where I thought they would end up, right? And the system, once again, the system knows that too. That's like everybody knows that they built the prisons based on third grade reading levels and stuff like that, right? They can identify it pretty freaking early if you're gonna struggle. So we got to talk about that. We got to have that conversation. Like, hey man, that's a part of it. But you don't, like, I get it, the system is messed up, but you don't have to make that choice. You don't have to choose to be that person. And the crazy thing is the people we're talking to, the people that we're talking to and about right now, they're not even those people, because they wouldn't even be here. Those people ain't on TikTok having these conversations on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know the people that's sitting here listening to us right now, they are the people that are actually capable of doing the things that we're asking them to do. Is that fair to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm not asking my hood, you know what I'm saying, my homies that stuck in that cycle, like, man, you just got to do better, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, I'm not coming at them on that type of time. I wouldn't do that to them. But you know what I'm saying, like I'm talking to like 25 30-year-old men, went to college, you know what I'm saying, got decent jobs, got a wife, and they up here talking about they're talking about I don't like weaves, wigs, and lashes and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey bro, you gotta do better than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do, like, we don't need to be let that man cheat in peace.
Right.
Like Dr. Umar said he would tell his daughter to do. I'm like, brother, that
is wild.
That's wild. You got a doctorate, fam. You are a person now. You said you would tell your daughter to let that man cheat in peace because it wasn't love. Well, was it love or was it lust? Well, if it's lust, you can learn from that and da 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 da. Sir, come on, man. Like, I feel like we definitely can have these conversations with those people about the things we're talking about. We could have those individual, like, you need to do better. You need to grow up. You need to be a better person individually, right? But for everybody else, we got to talk about the system. For everybody else, we got to be like, yo, they didn't stand a chance, because when they was freaking in the third grade, they couldn't read, you know what I mean? Like, it was over for them. So You know, we always joke about No Child Left Behind, jokingly serious about No Child Left Behind, but a lot of people got left behind. A lot of people got left behind. And some people are still actively choosing to be left behind. And those are, you know what I mean? Like, so to your point, those are the people we got to talk to your point. We got to get to the ones that, even if it's a handful of them, right? Let's get to them. Hey, man, you could do better. You can learn how to read better. It doesn't, I know you're 30 years old. You can still learn how to read better. You don't have to give up.
Right.
Right. Like, that's the, for me, it's a balance and all of that stuff, but that's the type of time I'm on. That's what I love. That's why I'm doing it and all of that stuff. Those are the people that I hope to get through to eventually, right? Those are the people that I think we need to get through to, because we need, I don't know, I think we need not that many people, but I think we need a man. I'm gonna say men specifically, because I think there's enough women already down for the cause. I think we need about 10-15% of men to really be on the same page when it comes to, dismantling the patriarchy. I think we need about 10 or 15% of us in total, right? To really do some like real damage to it. Because the system is so fragile and it's so frail, and it ain't, you know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about it, it's just built on smoke and mirrors, and it ain't, you know what I mean? Like, how easy, I don't think people understand how easy it was for me once I accepted it, it's been so easy for me to unlearn all the shit that I knew before, because it's so far from the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's so far from the truth. The same way I could imagine once a racist person were to be, exposed to like anti-racist rhetoric and them accepting it and understanding, like, it don't really take that long to be like, oh, wow, everything I was taught was a lie. Like, yeah, no, everything you were taught was a lie. Like, it's not, it's super easy. It's like, I get it. It was all a lie. Everything they told me, how I was moving, it was all rooted in this idea that women were less than, and blah, 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 and all of that stuff. So now I don't believe it. Super easy. It's done. So I don't think we need like that many people. I just think we need like a strong amount of people plus the women. Cause I think we can get, I think we can get 30-40% of women on board.
That the Black female collective is pretty much pro Black men. I don't think that would be a problem, to be honest.
I'm just saying, to get on some like, let's flip this, let's flip the table over in this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already know Black women down for the cause. What I'm saying, like, I know, but Black women unfortunately don't make up enough of the demographic. You know what I'm saying? So even if we can get 60% of Black women on board, we still need another 20% of white T women, or 30% of white T women, and some Latino. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm looking. To me, it's all a numbers game, because they look at it like that. They look at it like numbers too. That's how they, if I read this thing a lot. I wish I could.
That's how they were able to change the definition of whiteness. It definitely is. Very exclusionary until they needed numbers, and then they added Hispanic.
Let's add Jews. Let's add Italians. Let's add, you know what I mean? We're gonna add all these other ethnicities who we were dogging out before, but now you get to be white, but you gotta be a buffer between us and those Black people.
Yep. Correct.
So I don't think, that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I'm not worried about like Black women doing, like, I know Black women gonna be down for the cause, because Black women are always down for the cause. So I think that's another reason why I don't, as a Black man, like, because a lot of Black men, a lot of the pushback is they want me to like talk to Black women, or like talk bad about Black, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, it's kind of hard to talk to the group of people that been riding the hardest for the longest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, it's hard for me. Like, what am I going to say to them? Like, they've been riding the hardest for the longest. So I don't know. I don't know what I can say to those people.
Right.
I could talk to white women. I could talk to every, you know what I'm saying? I could talk to every other group of people because of, me being Black, right? Like, I could, appeal to them from that aspect. Like, hey, hey, white woman, I know you're a woman, but, you have definitely, in the patriarchy, you definitely held up the patriarchy and blah, 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 blah. And I could talk to white women about that. I don't feel no ways about that. But, when I talking to Black, it don't never make sense to me. I'm like, how you, like, they be riding, man. They be on the front lines all the time. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, they already gonna be there. Yeah. They good. They policing themselves. They coming up. They the ones ascending. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really see a need in me addressing them. So let me address the people that look like they slipping the most, which is men, right? In general. And all men are slipping, not just black men. All white men are on the decline. When you look at the numbers for like like the labor numbers, how many men are like not working, that's not black men that is shifting those numbers like that. When the numbers shift the way that they do, you know what I'm saying? When they drop 3, 4, 5% in a year, that's white men doing that. Only white men can sway those numbers like that. You know what I'm saying? So white men are checking out of the labor force, right? Because they were promised a wife slave, like every other man was promised a wife slave, and they're seeing that there is no real benefit in them slaving away in these factories or on these assembly lines, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, for these rich oligarchs. They're not seeing the benefit in it. They're like, you're not going to even give me a wife slave of my own. I'm checking out. I'm out.
Right. They
I'm not
make
going to. Why am I going to college? Go ahead.
Right. And I mean, college admissions for males across the board are even down, right? Because, there is a correlation between women going to university and men deciding not to. It's all fun and games when it's exclusive to them. It's not worth much anymore when the women have access to it because they always want the upper hand. I do think that patriarchy is a huge issue, and I don't understand the strict adherence to it when it hurts men the most. And I just really wish that Black men would understand that the patriarchy they want was not for them ever. And it's not working for them either.
What do you
And
mean it wasn't for black? But black men invented the patriarchy.
so, I think what they want is, patriarchy that looks more like what white men get to live.
Yeah, they wanted to go back to when black men were. That's what I'm saying. Black men invented the patriarchy. It used to the way that it looks beyond set race aside, right? Because race
Right
is
on.
a relatively new thing. Set race aside, but black men started to steal black women's labor 20,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like black men been doing that. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
not a new phenomenon for black men. But you're right. We want to go back to those days. We don't mind the white patriarchy. We don't. We just want a patriarchy of our own, right? We want a patriarchy of our own. We want to be able to be like, we're on top in this one, right? And we have access to all of these women and all of this labor from these women, and they're going to do all the work that we don't want to do. And we get to just go to work and come home or whatever the case may be. And we get the big piece of chicken and we get a pat on our back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. That's it.
Not the big piece of chicken.
You know that's what we be wanting. We simple. We just we want video games, the big piece of chicken, 65-inch TV. We don't be wanting much in our minds. That ain't much, right? Somebody a wife, and we want a woman to be there and do all the labor in the home and raise our kids while we go to work for 8 hours, and we get to come home and say we're pooped and we're tired and y'all don't know how hard it is to be a man in this world and blah 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 blah. The craziest shit. Black men saying that black women don't know what it's like to be a black man in the world is crazy.
I mean,
Crazy.
my argument would be they only have to navigate blackness, not the gender expectations or the
Boom.
assignments due to what privates you were born with. But
Boom.
for
Boom.
you know what I'm saying, like we have
That's
to
what it is.
black and being women, and then having at various times having to choose between the two. A lot of times, that's not a struggle that they have.
I don't know nothing about that personally. I don't about choosing between, like, I don't like one of my mutuals. She broke this down to me. She was just saying, like, she was like, yeah, when I'd get passed up for because she got passed up for was it a promotion, and she said she was like, I didn't know if it was because I was black or if it was because I was a woman.
Right.
I was like, fair enough. If I get passed up for a promotion I feel like I deserve, I think it's because I'm black, and that's all I got to worry about.
Right.
And that's why you hear a lot of black men talk about you're black first, and I'm like, I think that's ahistorical because we recognize gender was invented way before race. So I think them being a
argument in my fight for reproductive rights, like I don't care what anybody says. I'm a staunch. I'm actually pro-abortion. I like just because.
Yeah, me too.
Bodily autonomy. And
Yep.
I've had conversations with black men like, well, what about the black community? And I'm like, why can't bodily autonomy and black people exist together? Like, why do I have to choose? Do I want, as a woman, to have access to this thing over here, or this weird shit going or stuff going on where black men think this is genocide? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if I don't, I deserve to be a single mom. Like,
Crazy.
there's no way around it. Like, it's just wild to me. It's just wild.
That is the wildest part. Black people being conservative in this country doesn't make any sense to me. Conservatism is the thing that destroys the black community. There's nothing to conserve. What do you want to conserve? What do you want to conserve as a black person in this country? You don't want the whole thing to get flipped over. Like, what are y'all talking about? What? I don't understand it. Like, black people should be the least, and we are the least conservative group, but we should be like not conservative at all, and we are very much conservative. But compared to other groups of people, in so many ways, we're more progressive. In so many ways, we're more progressive, right? Black people, black men and black women are the most progressive overall in this country. But once again, I compare like that to me is like comparing men to other men when it comes to like child rearing or whatever the case may be. And I say that 1,000 times, but like I don't compare me to other fathers because the bar is in hell for dads. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing better than him, but am I doing good though? Is the question, right? So I don't compare myself to other men. I compare myself to my wife.
Right.
I'm like, okay, look how much work she's doing. Look, she got the kids ready for bed 4 times, 5 times this week. You know what I'm saying? I need to step up. I need to do it, let me do it more times or whatever, 3 times a week or whatever. She made breakfast for them 4 or 5 times this week. I need to make breakfast. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it like, talking to my homies, like, I noticed that he never cooks for his kids, and I cook for my kids twice a week, so I'm winning. And so black people comparing out us to every other group of people, specifically white tea people, doesn't make any sense. Saying we're more progressive than white tea people is what? What does that mean for us? So what? We know that they're not progressive at all. They're not progressive at all. Look at the country. We still don't got health care. It's still racism. It's still sexy. Like, they're not progressive one bit. So yeah, we're more progressive than them. So what? Y'all still are anti-LGBTQIA rights. You're still anti-abortion. You're still not pro-worker. You're still not, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We gotta step up the progressiveness. And while we're on the top, that's how I ended up in these spaces, was from being a leftist. That's how I ended up on the like destroy the patriarchy side, was from being a leftist. So my politics led me here. And that's the thing that I try to express to people all the time, is that my politics led me to this place. Me, you know what I mean? Me feeling like workers deserve rights and the proletariat needs power, and we need everybody deserves healthcare and a place to live. Like, that ultimately led me to the place where it was like, yeah, and also women deserve all those things too. Right? Because I never thought that I was excluding women when I had those discussions. You know what I'm saying? But I was. I you know what I mean? Like, I never articulated it in that way, but I was sexist. I am, but I was extremely sexist. I was extremely misogynistic. So of course I wasn't for protecting women. Of course I wasn't for protecting children. Of course I wasn't. In total, you know what I mean? Like, from in total, like, no, I wasn't. I was like, well, these women I was down for protecting, or those women, or those kids, or whatever the case may be. But now I'm like, since I stumbled upon this space, I'm like, oh, this is where my people are. This is where you really, this is where all of your politics merge, is at the place of, let's destroy the patriarchy. Let's bring this beast down. That's where you will find the anti-capitalist. You will find the socialists. You will find the don't be spanking your kids. That's abuse. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you find all these people at. You find the most empathy over here. So I'm like, oh wow, this is where I need to be. I feel the most comfortable in these spaces. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing a wonderful job.
I appreciate that, man. Nice snack. I was hoping you were a woman just from your name. I'm not gonna even hold you. Just from your name, I was like, if she not a woman, this is
I wouldn't have
it's,
no. I wouldn't be a dude that have nobody call me that. Oh my gosh.
it's some dude. It's some dude. I ran into some dudes that was calling themselves delicious and stuff, and I was
Oh,
like, not judging them, but I was just like, damn, that's crazy, bro.
okay.
I said, that's good for you. You like it, I love it. But can I call you D? Or I still got a little couple little corners of homophobia in me, a little vestige. I still say no Diddy. So it's still in me a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you.
I
But
mean, every day is a work in progress, though.
every day, every day.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything. I'm glad we. I understand you better. I should have articulated that a little bit better. I was in
No,
traffic. I,
you're
I
good.
it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Everything
Oh,
you said makes sense to me. That's what I'm saying. Now that when we talked, it was like I was like, oh yeah, no, instantly. Like, no, I 100% agree with you. Because I don't I don't stand for that shit either. Whenever we talk about Bill Cosby and they talk about Harvey Weinstein, I'd be like, why are you acting like we should let Bill Cosby off because Harvey Weinstein like what? No, throw them both into prison. Like, what are you talking about? I want them both locked up.
and to be fair, I was hoping Harvey Weinstein went to prison just so I can just so they could shut up and I can not have to hear about it anymore.
True. Yeah. True. Now what you gonna say? He in jail too. Now what? Right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Facts.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on. I
No
appreciate it.
problem. No
You
problem.
have
Have a great day. Yeah, I don't know about them. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know about them. I love throwing people in jail like that be doing stuff like that. I love locking them people up. I don't know why y'all having such a hard time with throwing them people in prison. I love throwing them people in jail. Mm-hmm. Love it. That shit make me feel good every time. I feel warm and cozy every time you lock up a Harvey Weinstein and a Bill Cosby and an R. Kelly and a Diddy. Ooh, it's exciting. I don't care. I don't care if they never lock up a white T man. To be honest with you, I mean, if I want him to lock up everybody that did it, but that'll never be my excuse for me defending P Diddy. That'll never be I will never defend P Diddy. I don't care how many white men get off. Lock P Diddy up. You dig what I'm saying? Like, like, what are y'all talking about? What are you talking about? How are we? How can? That's crazy. That black folks need a chance to fail up mentality. Man, wow. That's a bar. No, that don't apply when you actually got the resources to avoid certain pitfalls. Some people are just predatory and perverted. Absolutely. Felicia Gray, absolutely. Round of applause. Perfectly put. Perfectly put. When the 99% come together, we will be able to lobby for what comments be moving. Whatever is our agenda. Let's recognize that the 1% is distracting us by divide and conquer. Methods, race wars, genders, race wars, gender, etc. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same thing. There is no race war, right? Just like there is no gender war. There is a racial genocide, and there's a gender genocide. Same thing. But they like to call it a war and act like it goes both ways, as if black people out here burning up white tea people towns and stuff like that for prospering. I ain't seen a mob of black people throwing Molotov cocktails through businesses in Beverly Hills yet. I done been on Rodeo Drive a good amount of times. I done been on Melrose a good amount of times, and I ain't never seen no black people marching down the street trying to destroy their businesses. I ain't never seen it in my life. No, it's not just a financial war. It's chemical warfare on black people. It's beyond financial. Every time a man calls me a simp and tries to drag me for my defense of women and rejecting primitive masculinity, I know that I'm on the right path. Thanks for the super chat, Anthony. That's a bar. That's exactly what it is. Every time I get called a simp, I be like, got him. Got another one. I won today. Oh, there's definitely a war. Yeah. Ethnicity exists to dehumanize a group to justify their abuse. Absolutely. That's why white Romans called German pagans barbarians and tried to excuse their murder. Yep. We always have real problems. Anthony always coming through with a word. The great cosmic mother. That's exactly what they were, JoJo. That's what they would have been labeled today. The T word. Exactly. 100%. 100%. It's exactly what they would have been labeled. Facts. T. Williams said, very thick book. Very thick book. All right. 3 hours and 11 minutes, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I appreciate it. We had a good time. I think I'm gonna go on and end it now. 4:39 over here on the West Coast. I know some of y'all about to get ready for y'all night. Nah, I don't like simps, man. I'm not a fan of simps, to be honest with you. Simps manipulate too. They're just not as abusive as, you know, the other people, but simps manipulate too. I'm not into manipulation either way, right? It's not my goal. But yeah, if you have to choose one, simps are better, no doubt about it. Thanks, Relly. Appreciate it. Great convo, y'all. Appreciate everybody in the comments, man. All the super chats, I appreciate that. The live will be streaming. Yeah, thank you. Simps are the inverse of red pillars? Absolutely not. T. Williams, appreciate you. Thanks for the cash app. Bang the cash app one time on the way out. Y'all know what it is. Hey, yeah, nah, that's not it. Nah. Simps are not the inverse of red pillars. The way, okay. If you're saying they're the inverse of red pillars based on how red pillars use the term, yes, I agree. But if you're saying it how the term is actually, like what the term actually means, absolutely not. Simps are actually red pillars too. Yeah, simps are very misogynistic too. They don't respect women. They don't appreciate women. They see women as things to be had, and they think the way to get them is to manipulate them. That's what they you know, that's what a simp does. That's why I was saying I don't agree with simps. But yes, in the way that red pillars use the word simp, absolutely, simps are the inverse of red pillars, without a doubt. No doubt about it. That's why to my man's point, I agree. To Anthony's point, I agree. Like when they call me a simp, I go, yes, I'm a simp. Yes, I'm a simp for you. I'm a simp. Based on y'all logic, based on what a simp is, yes, absolutely, I'm a simp. Yeah. But am I a simp in the real sense? No, of course not. I've never had to simp. For what? Why would I have to simp now? Like, I don't understand. Like, even if I were single and I wanted to date women, why would I have to simp to get like? I don't have to simp to get women. That's crazy. That's crazy. If I couldn't attract women being me, then maybe I don't deserve. Maybe maybe I don't deserve to attract women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think that's where a lot of men be falling short, because if you can't attract the woman being you, then if you can't attract the woman with the truth, then you don't deserve the woman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Weird. It's crazy take, but all right, y'all. I'm gonna jump on TikTok. I heard they was yapping about me over there on TikTok. I'm about to go stroll and find out, see what's going on in the Discord.